The holidays are over, and the World of Tanks team is ready to present the large-scale update 2.1.1, which brings you new tanks and mechanics, improved Tier 11 vehicles, sound and interface updates, varied modes, and enjoyable rewards. Let's start with the hottest addition, the new branch of American autocannon medium tanks. It sprouts from the T-20 and includes 4 vehicles, topped by the Tier 11 Ares 90C. The newcomers differ from Czechoslovakian autocannon light tanks with a lower fire rate, but larger calibers and higher damage, as well as the unique thermal overheat control mechanic. These vehicles don't have the usual reloading system. At the start of battle or after you change the shell type, a belt of the selected ammo is loaded, which you can fire without stopping, only pausing to prevent the gun overheating. In some combat situations, it's better to fire single shots, while in others, you should unleash a barrage of fire to cause maximum damage in the shortest time frame. The main thing to remember is that the hotter the gun gets, the greater the dispersion. If it overheats, the lock system will kick in, and you'll need to wait until it fully cools. One more feature of these vehicles is reserve tracks. Thanks to these, you'll keep moving if your main track is destroyed. The American autocannon medium tanks, topped by a Tier 11 vehicle, are for you if you like to control the rhythm of battle. But if you want to try some different gameplay, take a look at another 2 new Tier 11 vehicles. Let's start with the Japanese STK-2 heavy tank, which carries on the tradition of the Type 71. The new vehicle has great gun depression thanks to its hydro-pneumatic suspension, as well as good turret armor, high damage per minute, and active gun cooling mechanic. Thanks to the last one, the gun starts cooling immediately after a shot, and the accuracy is partially improved by the time it finishes reloading. When it is fully cooled, the dispersion is minimal, like that of the best snipers in the game. And after several shots, it goes to the level of classic heavy tanks and lets you fight comfortably in close combat. This makes the new Tier 11 Japanese STK-2 heavy tank effective from any range and in varied combat situations. The next Tier 11 vehicle is the Chinese PTZ-78 tank destroyer with solid fuel jet boosters. These turn the massive assault vehicle into an unpredictable and even more dangerous opponent. The shunting solid fuel boosters work independently of each other. Thanks to this, the PTZ-78 can make a bold attack or withdraw unexpectedly fast to defend itself. At the same time, when the vehicle is using the boosters, they don't stop it reversing. Strong frontal armor, a big HP pool, and a gun with good penetration and damage alongside the solid fuel boosters will help you fulfill the role of an assault TD with maximum efficiency. Another 6 Tier 11 vehicles will also suit their role on the battlefield better. These have received a number of changes based on the statistics we collected and your feedback. The ASXX-40T, Leopard 120, Object 432U, CS-67 Shakal, Hirschkäfer, and STRV-10712 have had their characteristics improved. They will be even more comfortable and effective to fight in. And now you can keep track of your achievements in combat on the battle results screen via the special Mission Progress tab. For instance, you can find out your progress in the new Battle Pass track. There's a legendary addition to the ranks of World of Tanks. In the new Battle Pass special chapter, expect nostalgic characters, cult quotes,
"Dead or alive, you're coming with me,"
and the shining armor of the new law enforcement defender, the OCP Peacekeeper, armed with a powerful gun that causes 440 HP of damage per shot. Important updates await you in the latest installment of Onslaught. You'll find expanded statistics in which you can see your progress for each day of the season. The Bond Shop has some additions: a new Tier 9 vehicle, the American LTC-2 light tank, as well as new improved equipment, the telescopic observation system, and tactical concealment net. Now you can head into battle with the Chinese 114 SP2 tank destroyer with high alpha and a rotating turret. And you also have the opportunity to rent new vehicles: the Ho Re 3, Super Conqueror, and K91. Erlenberg has been added to the map rotation, while Klondike temporarily leaves. Several maps have gotten selective improvements to make the competitive battles more dynamic and exciting. The audio design of Onslaught also continues to improve. The improved sound physics transmit the sound realistically, accounting for reflections on surfaces and bends of obstructions. Charge into battle and keep fighting for the main Onslaught reward: the Tier 10 Polish Ashbringer heavy tank with a unique style and a trained crew. And if you need a break from the tense battles, a few familiar modes await you in the new update. On February 2nd, Frontline will start in its familiar format, now with vehicle playlists available. Control your favorite Tier 8 vehicles and fight for valuable rewards on 3 epic maps. 2 arcade cabinet sub-modes also await: Snowballs, a fun firefight with sped-up vehicles, and Ice Age, with dynamic battles and dizzying skids on slippery maps. Have a blast and get rewards in the winter merriments. More good news. With the updates released, the opportunity to get the Outstanding Collector achievement remains in the game permanently. Collect all researchable vehicles from Tier 6 through 10 that were in the game before the release of Update 2.0 to get unique, honorable insignias. Log into the game to research new and improved vehicles, get rewards, and feel high-octane thrills in different modes. Let's battle!
Lunar New Year is almost upon us, the time when the boundaries between worlds fade away. The celebration is filled with incense and the light of lanterns, heralding the start of the Great Trial. The Jade Emperor lays down the gauntlet to the most worthy commanders. He has captured the mystic spirit of the Firehorse in ancient coins. Whoever seizes them will receive many rewards and acquire incredible might that can change the balance of power in the celestial world. From February 12th through February 23rd, charge into the Jade Emperor's Challenge event. Expect dynamic 7v7 battles in Tier 8 vehicles of any type, apart from SPGs. The Great Confrontation will unfold on 4 maps. Your mission is not just to destroy enemy vehicles, but to seize coins containing the spirit of the Firehorse and deliver them to the drop zone in the enemy base. This will award you lots more points and bring your team closer to victory. If your vehicle is destroyed, you can respawn in the next round, after one of the teams delivers the spirit to the other base or destroys all enemy vehicles. In this mode, each vehicle type has unique passive abilities. Heavy tanks temporarily slow down opponents with shots and cause greater ramming damage. Tank destroyers knock the spirit off enemy vehicles. Medium tanks get an accuracy boost. And light tanks get boosted view range and concealment. Coordinate your actions, use your vehicle's strength, and protect the coin bearers. Complete missions, earn Jades, and get through the 9 event stages. And claim days of World of Tanks premium account, bonds, free XP, unique 2D styles, and an exclusive commander. You'll also get 2 free blazing treasures. These contain guaranteed rewards, themed 3D customization elements, and the chance to get rare premium vehicles, including the brand new Yongbing and Kanonenjagd Panzer II. In addition, completing the whole progression will give you a commemorative medal. The Jade Emperor awaits heroes. Harness the spirit of the Fire Horse and gather all the treasure from this celebration. Good luck on the battlefield. The Year of the Fire Horse is racing to us at full tilt. Get ready to celebrate and make new discoveries. Valuable resources await you in blazing treasures, like credits, personal reserves for credits, a set of 3D attachments, vibrant 2D styles, and unique premium vehicles, including some new ones. Let's start with the existing vehicles. The ISU-122-2 is a lightly armored and dynamic hunter that chooses the rhythm of battle itself. You can chip 390 HP per shot from opponents or unleash the power of 2 guns at once, while good mobility lets you quickly get out of harm's way. The AAT-60 is a master of fire support. It has great gun depression and penetration that often doesn't notice armor. If you're flexible and adapt to the situation, you can turn any fight into a firing range. The T-44-100 is a universal soldier that can do it all. A fast-firing gun and 52 km/h top speed let it engage in combat everywhere and all at once. From aggressive raids behind enemy lines to skillful defense. The UDES 03 Alt 3 is a real Swedish ninja. Its 3-show autoloader and hydropneumatic suspension make any hill a kitted-out firing position. The VZ-58 Medved is a bona fide predator. Its 4-shell autoloader deals a devastating 1,760 HP of damage in 12 seconds. The German Erich concept forgives no mistakes. It's stealthy, incredibly fast, and precise. 400 HP of damage per shot and 270 millimeters of penetration with standard shells are the tools of a real professional. Take the high ground, spot your opponents, and then destroy them one by one while staying elusive. Now onto the newcomers. The first is the Kanonenjagd Panzer II. It's a comfortable vehicle for causing damage. Siege mode, good concealment, high penetration with standard shells for Tier 8, and 370 HP alpha damage make this German tank destroyer an excellent hunter and credit earner. And finally, the real jewel in this year's collection, a Chinese double-barreled heavy tank with jet boosters. The Yongbing. 2 guns, each causing 440 HP of damage per shot, let you flexibly combine cyclic firing and powerful salvos, keeping high firepower in any situation.
VPN with the readjustment here. Is Illusia going to get another shot in towards the lower plate? Yes, that means one shot on towards the 50M. Is XCMax going to pick it up? Good shot in towards the cupola. It is the 1v1 we've been waiting for here, and he does it.
The OLS Season 5 is already here. The best teams are ready to head onto the battlefield. Who will you be supporting? Root for your favorites, follow their journey, and stand by them. With you on their side, they'll be unstoppable. You take hits together with them, and that means you go all the way. Behind every vehicle is a personality whose quick thinking and precise actions can change the outcome of battle. Victory is 100 shots and maneuvers, plus 1,000 emotions on the other side of the screen. Support your favorite OLS team. Be by their side. Together, until victory.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are here for the Surfshark OLS Season 5, Phase 2, Day 3, 10th stream of the season. How are you feeling?
I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out today and looking at what is going to happen in the OCS finals as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had some matches already yesterday. In the end, we had a team that came all the way from the bottom of the bracket, but quick shout out to our sponsor. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the internet is way too confident about who it thinks we are. I Google how to fix one thing and suddenly my ads are, oh, you're a full-time handyman now? It's bold, it's judgmental, and that's the moment when I have to start using Surfshark VPN. It's simply the best, because there's the thing. Everything you do online is being tracked. A VPN like Surfshark creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for your internet traffic, so random companies, trackers, and all those third parties can't see what you're doing or where you're browsing from. Surfshark gives you much needed personal space online. Your searches, clicks, and habits aren't just there for everyone to analyze. It's great for avoiding price discrimination, so you can change your virtual location to find better prices on flights, hotels, or just general shopping. And honestly, that's why we love it. Surfshark doesn't keep logs, so the internet doesn't know what you're doing and doesn't create some personality profile on you anymore that dictates how your ads are being done. We mentioned it before, Surfshark can be used on many devices. You just need one account. So my recommendation now is go to surfshark.com/OLS and use the code OLS at the checkout, and you get 4 months of extra Surfshark VPN.
That's beautiful, Phil. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You almost convinced me.
I mean, I know that you're already using it, but you know, you can maybe like do some nice giveaway for all your great viewers, because they should definitely use Surfshark as well.
Smart. Yeah, back into the action though. Today is Sunday the 15th, which means we have one more week ahead of us after this, where everything will really unfold. We'll see where the teams end up in the final positions during the regular season and the accommodating prize pool split. With that, and of course Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see who actually takes the lion's share of the prize money, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a big split there in the playoffs. Roughly 6K difference between first and second place, and obviously you also get all the honor and glory of being first place team of the season. 54K in total so far, and obviously you can still buy bundles, predict for the team that you believe will win. The prediction bundles will stay active until the end of Phase 2. So you can switch between which teams you want to support. Maybe you're not sure, so you can pick 2. Or if you already predicted for a team, but you want more of the cool customization, you can just buy the 2D style Born for Glory. And if you predict right, it will be upgraded. You will get the golden badge as well. And if you predict if you predict correct once, all of your styles get upgraded to the golden one.
And for your token earnings, today 5 tokens as well, which I think some people are getting, or basically getting the tank if they watch the Mega Platoon as well, right? I would have to count how many tokens that we had. But next week, on the weekend, 10 tokens plus 10 tokens. So a lot of tokens there. And those are going to be bolstering your amount of points that you have, or tokens that you have, towards the Canonian Jagdpanzer, KV-122, Puddle, 2D styles, premium days, consumables, personal reserves, you name it, there's something there for everybody.
Exactly. So head out to your depot, and then at the bottom you can find the token store, and maybe you haven't reached it yet, but there's still some streams to come. Talking about reaching things, I think looking at the standings, the first 3 places have pretty much reached the playoffs at this point already. Hit, Cashback and Mafia sitting very comfortably there at more than 20 points already. But then there's W and CTR, 2 teams that are facing off against each other, and you can see both of them on a losing streak. Same for Lotus, they have lost 4 of their last 4 matches, so if they want to kind of at least secure 5th place, they would have to get some points today.
For Lotus, it's going to be very tough. They've had a rough season. They did make it into Phase 2, but they haven't really been able to show more than that. Although today I felt like predicting 4-2 in favor of Cashback, but I then ended up going with 4-1. I have that feeling. I'm going to be kicking myself if they do end up doing better than expected.
No, I mean, we saw some good showings here and there, but then I guess in a best of 7, like, you have to be fairly consistent to get not just 2 points, but 4 in the end on the board. In the match that they played on Thursday, we saw, especially on the first round of Ruinberg, some really good plays, but then it was not enough. There you can see the team lineup of Cashback. They had to play without their main caller there in the middle last time, but the guys made a really good showing, and I think with a 4-0 secured like the maximum they could have done.
Yeah, they're...
Especially against W, I think, right?
Yeah, W getting kind of schooled, but for W, that will come later, Phil. But they've had a rough few matches now, you know? Once, okay, but twice?
No, I mean, take a look at the community prediction. 97%. I think that speaks a pretty clear language. Lotus is not out of it yet, but the odds are definitely not in their favor.
No. They're for sure not, and I think that's warranted as well. I mean, Cashback is a very solid team. They deserve to be in this position. Liberty, highlight player, you know, plays a lot of tanks, mainly known for the lights, but is solid on literally everything.
No, I mean, we saw him even on like Fosh B and stuff like this in the past. He has been one of the standout players of the team, but I think overall Cashback has shown that they have a well-rounded squad where neither of them stands out for lots of like mistakes or anything like that. So all of them very solid, and yeah, we'll have to see if Lotus has a chance against such a proven lineup today.
I mean, I believe in Lotus, but let's see. Himmel's coming in as first map between these two after Ruinberg and Cliff bans. So Himmel's coming out. Lotus was there, I think it was even against Cashback, no? They did it with 4 or 5 CSs on the hill. Wasn't it against Cashback?
It was definitely Lotus. Yeah, it might have been against Cashback.
I have feelings that it was Aka on the hill. Then Ghost on second, Sand River as third one. I mean, map-wise, you would always favor Cashback, right? So it's going to be hard for Lotus to surprise. I think if it has to come, it will be on Himmels, because Ghost is a very, very hard one against an experienced team.
I had the same thought. It's basically like, I don't feel like they are winning against Cashback in a long game on Ghost Town, and surprising people on Ghost Town has recently not been very successful. We saw a bunch of pushes, but even like more experienced teams like Hit and Run were not really able to implement them successfully. So if Lotus wants to get the ball rolling, they need to at least get 1 round of Himmelsdorf, so they will survive the Ghost Town, and Sand River is also a really good map for Cashback.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Town is a hard map. You can make things work, but surprising a team like Cashback is not very easy. Prediction-wise, though, Banter going with a 4-0. We across the board 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, if this is a 2-0 on Himmelsdorf, I think Ghost Town will not look much better. But we mentioned it, there's still a bunch of stuff that you can do on Himmelsdorf, coming up with some innovative, maybe even surprises. And Yeah, we'll have to see. Yesterday, I think in one of the OCS matches, we saw a similar approach to what were you describing earlier, with like 3 CS pushing the hill. But the other team brought Fosh Bees, and they didn't have a lot of fun with their CS there. So it was like 3 CS plus a 140 against like a CS 140 and 2 Fosh Bees or something like that. So a hill fight's usually not super common, but definitely something to be prepared for.
Lineups will be the interesting one, right, between these two teams. I mean, I think it was against Cashback that they played this kind of style of many CSs on the hill. And I don't think Cashback's going to fall for that again. So Lotus this time around, double BZ, a T57, a 140, double Bliska, and so far a 183.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if Jordan will keep that. Would definitely be an interesting tank. Liberty in the Fosh, double Bliska, 140 IS7, and double BZ. It looks like Jordan sticks with his... No, he switched, okay. Yeah, so we have triple T57. That reminds me a bit on like Season 1 maybe, like W style. Kind of like sitting in a corner and trying to open up a trap or something.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this amount of T57s. We'll see what they're able to do with it. They might even drive straight down the middle, to be honest.
No, I mean, we'll have to see who is encountering this hit squad there. Squeezy will have a shot at least towards one of them. Exactly, Sokol takes the first shot. Everyone's spotted now. Bochan makes it towards the cap, but he will have to be careful because there is an overpush possible. And the overpush is coming from Lotus now. Lots of damage into the T57s. Botic and Jordan haven't even arrived at Aphrodite. Pulls back in his Blisker, and you can see the HPs lopping left, right, center. Liberty now has to return the fire because he is being surrounded. But Aphrodite is still staying strong. He will get out another shot, and Sokol should drop first one to fall.
Yeah, Sokol died into Aphrodite. The strike coming out on towards Stuka. Liberty getting chased down, and the HP is not all that bad for Lotus for how much they took on the crossing. I mean, it could have been much worse. Only 5,000 when driving across the open. I think they would sign up for that. But what they don't sign up for is Botsian's fallen, Dark's fallen in quick succession, Twist getting surrounded, and the rest of the guns still chasing Liberty. Jordan is making it around that corner. Liberty pops the ability, but is a little bit early on that. He will get a full clip out, but for round number 1, Lotus tries to surprise. Cashback has absolutely 0 problems with it.
No, I mean, this small 1 versus 1 here will not change anything of the outcome of that match. Cashback still 6 tanks alive. Botic might be able to drop 1 more, but with 5 against 1 now, even with a healthy Bliskavica, you have basically no chance.
No, indeed. So it is what it is. Lotus tries to surprise. It doesn't work out. I think they need all 57s to make it across without taking too much damage to then clip out Aphrodite and then to keep the ball rolling, right? When you lose one of these tanks on the crossing already, it's kind of over because 2 T57s do not have the clip potential to kill a Bliska.
No, and on top of that, you need to keep in mind that they didn't really get this initial burst out, so it was even harder for them to like come back after they had already, like, you know, with the T57s you have a limited amount of damage and then you want to come back for the clip, and yeah, it just didn't work out for them.
I mean, there's a world in which this works, Phil. There's not.
I don't know.
There's not this world. I don't know, like, maybe, you know, in some, if the Cashback plays a little bit hill, then who knows, but this style of game is going to be very, very, very hard for Lotus to somehow surprise Cashback with it.
No, I mean, you can see the damage from the T57s, like, there's Sokol 443, barely doing like 1,000 damage during... I think he shot the Bliska with ability. And Tarks 4 shots, but yeah, 1.4. And then we have 1 T57 that survived for a second clip. He fired 888, but also against reduced damage, so not a lot of damage. And the damage that Jordan did on the isolated Fosh wasn't really making a big difference.
Yeah, Jordan, you know, he does 5k, but He was just chasing down Liberty, who was on reload and activating ability. So
Yeah, I mean, Liberty healed for 1.25k, so 1,250.
yeah, exactly. So all in all, I mean, for Cashback, it wasn't very hard, right?
No, they did what they had to do.
That's all they needed as well.
I mean, Aphrodite did 444, and he took a total of 11 hits. So that just tells you like how long he survived.
Yeah. That's indeed the case. I mean, that's the thing. When you push him with 2 T57s, he doesn't die, so he's just shooting. And then the 57s are on reload. He picks up the last one, and he gets a few more shots out. And honestly, a Bliskavitz is ideal for that situation, right? Because of its massive DPM and big alpha on close range. It's the perfect tank to survive through an onslaught like this.
Yeah, and they got the first shot on the beginning already, and he was able to stay safe, get into the cabbie, and then basically was reloaded by the time they were there to clip onto him. So he also had the ability immediately on a higher rank and not just like level 1. So, I mean, risky approach, and it didn't work out.
Well, second round for Lotus. You know, it's too early to really say that it's going to be a washout. Banter would love to catch up on points, though, Phil. So, you know, we're hoping against this, right?
I mean, like, the moment you get down to the level where you compare yourself to Banter in terms of prediction and expert knowledge.
Wow.
Have you been out for that long that we are doing that now?
No, I'm having no problems. You know, he was ahead in the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden he was behind, you know?
I mean, you know, like, gave the rookie a bit of a head start, but
yeah, and then
at
snatched
some
it
point
away.
we need to
Put him back in his place. Exactly.
I see we're on the same idea there. Double Force B for Lotus. They're coming in with an IS-7 type, CS, and an E4. Relatively similar situation for Cashback. No Bliska this time, but an IS-4 as well. And an E4 played by Liberty. How do you feel about the 430U?
I mean, profile-wise, I understand why it's picked, you know, like the E50 is a lot more chunky, sticks out a lot more, right? While the 430U, you know, it's kind of low, it can play behind certain cooldowns, which the E50 cannot. Yeah, I think the E50 is a better tank overall, though.
So, if you are thinking about this one-line position, is the 430U just like a very good go-to tank to like potentially do some side scraping and stay behind the hill?
The 430U
like
has something that the E50M doesn't. It has
camo.
Yeah, it has pretty good camo as well, so it can be unspotted in positions that an E50M wouldn't. They can also cross positions an E50M wouldn't without being spotted, so you know that plays into it.
No, I mean the important thing is Jordan needs at least one shot onto the cap before he gets his small arty strike, because he didn't get any spotting damage now. We can see there is an IS-7 getting close, but I'm pretty sure that the first decap shot just came in, so Jordan will be able to get a strike.
I think he can even craft an angle onto the side here if he keeps going like towards the 9 line.
I think he just hit the track of Aka.
Got a shot on Aphrodite as well. Honestly, it's a good position right now for Lotus. I would say that they're not in that much trouble at all. They got a strike as well for these guys. They got double CS on the hill that I think will find an angle at some point. 900 damage off of the strike, and right now Cashback doesn't really have an opportunity to just push, you know?
No, I mean they have the CS strike as well if needed. Obviously they have 2 tanks which you could call like out of the game the moment there is a fight at the bottom, but looking at the defensive position that Lotus is holding, you can see the E4 on B1, the type which is still hidden on B3, and the Forge which is just approaching. It's not too bad for them.
Tuka finds Liberty as well. We might even give him a second. No, Liberty gets around the corner. Brainbreaker getting spotted out on the type 5. Botsic will be able to back off just fine. Twist was the one to spot it out. 12 seconds now on this, but Jordan has a strike, a 150 damage strike as well, and because of that, he gets a level 1 strike again. So he is able to cycle a little bit.
He kept both of them, right?
Yeah,
so
with good damage. Tuka coming down.
Okay, so Tuka coming close. I think that's a good decision to not keep both of them on the hill. obviously, you could argue having the lower HP one on the hill is maybe a tiny bit safer, but at this point it doesn't really matter, right?
Gotta be careful on how they execute this though, because Tuka taking some damage as well. Botsik wants to go for this.
Easy traded into him.
Yeah, I mean, Tuka taking another shot now, might drop down or just hide. Twist and Botsik, they have 12 shells between them, and that is 4,800 potential damage, right? So it is going to be very hard for them to kill this type.
And the type will collect another strike from what it seems like, and that would obviously help a lot with preventing decaps, because you get the strike, nobody else will get it. Botsik takes one on the cross. He will heal most of it back. Another strike being deployed into the cap. And Cashback is making good work here against Tarks. I think
He backed off slightly too much and got a shot from Brainbreaker in the Type 5.
Yeah, I mean, Tarks dropping, and the double push B is still not really able to get into the game. And I think Squeezy will even make it out. Okay, that was maybe not the best route to drive for him. So now Liberty in a heap of trouble. There are 3 shots left for Botsik, and obviously Twist has a bunch of them as well. He will not be able to really heal a lot, and the push needs to come in now from Cashback, which are still up in HP. Botchans has the ability active, the E4 not with a lot of DPM. He tries to pick on one of the lower HP targets. Looks like he's not able to really get Mindbreaker into a one-shot position. Now drives on top of him, maximizing the RAM damage, but that's the next kill pickup. 6 guns versus 4 for Cashback.
Yeah, and then, you know, Lotus, I think they're just failing a little bit on execute here, because honestly, I think the setup they had was pretty good. You know, Tarks takes a little bit of too much damage from behind, gives Brainbreaker an opportunity to, gives actually Mindbreaker an opportunity to kill him. Then Botsian's a bit too far forward. Didn't anticipate them pushing, even though Cashback has to make a reaction to Liberty dying as well. Then fluffs the shot on top of it. Take away all of those small little things, and I think this could have been a very competitive round. In this case, however,
also Tuka trading was not on point, I think.
No, so like if you take away these small errors there, then I think this could have been a different game.
No, but you know how it is. A bunch of small errors can stack up to kind of like a big problem overall. They're still in the game, but I think with 3 tanks left, Jordan being spotted as well. I'm not sure. Wait, Twist just activated his ability. I guess he anticipated a shot from the E4. That will not change anything. Botsik as well might be able to heal a tiny bit more, but Jordan last man standing. He had a good start there from the top position, but it wasn't really enough in the end.
No, like I said, I think this could have been a competitive round, but you know, a few things here, a few things there. But the setup they had was pretty good though. They had a lot of control over the map, they're doing some good damage towards the cap, but somehow Brainbreaker taking the strike undid everything.
No, and I mean, he's still very healthy on 3.5k HP.
Yeah, well, if the Fushes push him, I don't think they kill him. I think that's the thing, because, you know, they have the potential to kill him, but they're taking damage from behind as well. Of course, they're gonna get striked, and then, you know, 1 or 2 misses, and all of a sudden the type doesn't die.
Especially if he like heals back a tiny bit.
That'd be a really hard execute to do. I also don't know why Tuka dropped down, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to like help the push onto the type or something, and then he got surprised. But yeah, we said that if Cashback goes 2-0 on Himmelsdorf, then this will be very much an uphill battle here for Lotus on Ghost Town. Aka manages to pick up the kill from the lower side, and yeah, good round from Cashback.
I mean, solid round. You know, they made a good reaction later on. This 1-2 push was solid as well. The damage onto Starks was solid. They made the peak, they made the kill, continued on. Liberty didn't sell his life that cheaply, but not that great either, to be honest. Like, he was in that pocket there, and he could have done more out of that, because Squeezy was running away. In this case, you know, Liberty does a few shots, but not that relevant. You know, the best thing he did was make the Fudgebees use their clip at least, right? But I think he could have been even further back, even safer, and make the Lotus Fudgebees really push into nothing for a while. You know, the further away he is, the more time would have been wasted by those to drive to his actual location.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Jordan there with obviously a bunch of damage, but some of that was at the very end when it didn't really matter anymore. He did 1.2k with strikes, which is also pretty good. Gave some good decaps, but then obviously on the other side we have the E4s and the 430U. Even Brainbreaker dealing 4.4k. Obviously also some strike damage. Any advice for Lotus for round 3? Anything they can maybe improve?
Well, it's a different map, so we're starting fresh, you know?
I mean, starting fresh when you're down 2-0, I think there's some extra pressure applied on them now.
They just gotta pretend it's 0-0.
Okay, so forget about the score, nameplates off, and then just pretend it's another Super Platoon game.
Something like that, I guess. I mean, for them, I think on Ghost Town, I think Cashback can fail a little bit against like a well-controlled aggression, you know? But it's gonna be really hard to pull that off. Like not an all into the cab, but like slight cab pressure, pressuring across the map at the same time. But that is really hard to play. I think the worst thing they could do is playing an all in onto the cab, for example. We haven't seen all ins on the cab work recently, no?
No, I think this matter of rushing into the strike on the open space has maybe like, prevent that idea from happening, because people are very actively going for the first strike, and in the past we had sometimes like a yaw or a can opener to kind of like protect the staircase, but it's just too slow there, and if you get the first decap with a big strike, then I think like the subsequent decaps are much easier.
I mean, I don't see Lotus pull off some stuff with multiple lights either. You don't strike me like the kind of team to play like 2-3 lights, you know? Although that has kind of fallen out of fashion as well.
No, I think what we have seen a bunch of times was one track light plus one EBR, something like that. But we've also seen teams making like big mistakes. I think it was Clerv last match. It was actually against Cashback on Ghost Town, where he got spotted in the RHM and then basically completely exploded as the only light. So sometimes those things happen. Let's take a look. We have one light, double E50M, 2 types, and 2 IS7s for Lotus. Cashback playing with a 60 TP, IS7, IS4, T57, K91, 140, and 1 light as well.
So both have this kind of controlled lineup. The IS7s, it's a question where they're gonna... Double IS7 is a lot though, you know? Like we usually see like the one odd IS7, not the double though.
No, and I mean Cashback also, because they have more different roles, they will be able to kind of like make more out of the crew boost that has the IS7 and 60 TP ability basically, but we'll have to see if that makes a difference this game.
In the meantime, Brainbreaker playing towards this 5-6 line, spots out the double type. It's an IS7 and double E50M on 1-2 line. The other IS7 Tarks going very early towards this lower side. Some good damage being dealt on towards these type 5s already. Very ready.
Very expensive.
Yeah, very ready from Cashback's side. Aphrodite getting basically a full clip. Little's in the hole there. The rest of the tanks pretty ready for this as well. So opening wise, Cashback doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and they're even claiming like both the strike and the cap.
In the meantime, I mean, Lotus will run over 1-2 line. There's nothing really there except for the 140 at A1. So at least they get some objective as well. But I think start-wise, Cashback was very prepared for this.
Well, I mean, the 140 will not get outspotted by an IS7, obviously. He should be able to leave there. Get spotted now. Both of the IS7s are missing. So he'll have to either wait out or try to get the T57 into a position where he can get some assistance. And yeah, there it is. Lots of supportive fire there onto Tarks, minus 2.5k. And I mean, at this point, there's nothing that Tarks can push anymore, right?
No, and he's also, if he takes one more shot, he's going to get striked. So he has to be very, very careful. Ooh, he takes a shot. The strike should come. And that should be Tarks dead soon, TM. Liberty didn't use the plane on Tarks, but they're still holding onto the strike with AK. So any moment Tarks gets spotted, Tarks will be dying.
Yeah. I mean, you said it earlier. You usually think it should be one IS7. Maybe they just followed your advice and like reduced the amount of IS-7s this way.
Not a very effective way. Ooh, AK coming out with the strike as expected on towards Tarksik, and now Jordan crossing through the open. It's such a long distance to make it as IS-7, and you can see the damage significant. I mean, he's pushing into Squeezy, and he's pushing into his dead. Squeezy makes his way around it, gets the kill as well, and now he will start hammering these tanks from behind later on. The ones that are here, Botsians and Sokol, Aphrodite coming in as well, and I think Cashback is now on the victory march. They realize that this game is basically in the bag.
No, and I think even with a big strike they're hitting them for 900. Even if Aphrodite dies here, this is just a rollover.
A hard round. Good opening though for the side of Cashback. I mean, they initially set up really, really well to punish this.
No, I mean, the E50M will maybe even pick up Aka. He has obviously the HP advantage, but yeah, with Twist being on 600 HP and only a light tank left. Any thoughts for potential improvement here? I think the beginning wasn't too bad, but it just ended up with them sending their aggression into either nothingness or like the supportive crossfire from the heavies, right?
I mean, crossing Turks after Squeezy was spotted there, I don't know. I don't think that had any potential to get there with the IS-7.
I feel like it was either too late or too early. Because if you make it a bit earlier, you take the damage when you cross like F5 on the heavy tanks, but at least the IS-7 makes it fairly far. Like if the IS-7 makes it like to B1 or something already. But like how they did it, it was basically like they first let the heavy tanks, like the Type 5s in the city, take all the damage, and then the T-57 was relocating and helped against the IS-7 as well.
Yeah, and I think Lotus has this tendency to play for that anyways. I have a memory that I think we saw already them take an IS-7 towards that position in the previous match day. And then he was 1v1ing against, I don't know who it was anymore, against Franek, I think, in the bat. So it's not the first time they play something like this, and I guess, you know, Cashback at least realized this tendency.
I mean, impressive damage for a 60 TP. We saw he picked up the kill with a 400 damage strike, but aside from that, 8 shooting, that's a really good result for him. And obviously the close combat tanks there as well, being able to put some really good damage. And Aphrodite 15, 14, 13. The IS-7 as well, 3.5k damage. And yeah, Squeezy helped out against IS-7s as well. A bunch of spotting for the IS-4? No, no, it's the RHM. So 1.9k, I guess some of them were like Tarks. But yeah, didn't really help that the second salvo onto the second crossing IS-7 also is really painful. Like both Jordan and Tarksik took a lot of damage on the cross.
Yeah, but I would say once Tarks is down there towards a one-shot, the game's already basically over. I mean, losing a full IS-7 for free and being locked in those positions, it would be near impossible to recover. Because they didn't do any damage to Cashback until then. Like, literally nothing. And Cashback already took the Eastern Strike, has the cap as well. And it's interesting to see that, you know, this... the buff to the 60p, to the ability, makes it come back into meta. Because it's not the first 60p we've seen.
No, for sure, for sure. And I mean, it's also nice to see that we see a bit of variety, 60TP, IS-7. I think IS-7 was a tank that hit and run. Was the kind of the only team that played it at the beginning, before it was buffed. They often tried to use T-Sec and the IS-7 and combine him with a light tank to kind of like spot with each other and protect each other, both in terms of armor and vision gameplay. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see if the Yo or potentially like can opener, things like that will also see a bit more play. But for now, second round of Ghost Town, any expectations?
I'm hoping Lotus wins this round, you know?
To make it a bit more interesting. I understand.
Also to make sure that our British friend is wrong.
Okay, looks like Lotus coming in with the Leopard 1 E50M, Jordan in the E4, Bocik playing RHM, and E5, kind of like one of the tanks that I was speaking about, IS4 and IS7, so one of each. Just switched as well, no E5 after all, double E50M, and Cashback coming in 277, IS4, Bedshed 140, E4, EBR, and RHM.
I mean, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the Leopard again as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those tanks we saw Iset play a bunch of times, both when he was in Cashback and later when he was in Weekend. Obviously, like, it's great for sniping and you can find some nice angles, but it can't really share its HP very well. We'll have to see if Brainbreaker in the 277, which is kind of the other rare tank here, can do a good job. Looks like they're stopping to punish the cross, and you can see there's no significant HP loss so far on the side of Lotus.
Bocik taking some damage to the light. That's important usually. It's a light, and again.
He took a second shot. That was the critical one, I guess.
And again, the cap being taken by Cashback. They're very early on pressuring this cap, and it's not that much pressure, but it's annoying because you have to deal with it at some point. No. You cannot ignore it.
And Cashback also took the control over the 1-9 strike. So that obviously means they have good damage on the bot chance, by the way. They have control over basically the first strike that is being attempted, which they can delay. No decap so far, and that hurts. Like, that E50M, losing that so early, minus 3k HP overall as well, that hurts.
I mean, the hurt is not about to end either. The cap is still on. They don't have a strike yet, and they've lost an E50M already. Jordan taking some more damage. Tuka getting pressured by Little. He's going to be able to have a relatively decent time though in that IS7. He's not going to die that quickly because...
I mean, there's a 140 as well.
And now he's going to die quickly. The 140 coming in. Tuka is dead. Tarks is in trouble as well. Finally, they're trying to take the strike on the east, but I think that will be a little too late. Sokol covering in the Leopard, but what can he really do? His teammates are getting run over one by one. Tarks is about to die. And for Lotus, this has been a rude awakening today, showing Cashback has no mercy whatsoever on poor Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, that puts Lotus definitely out of playoffs contention. I think today would have been a must-win day for them. The match is not over, but nearly double the HP now, and hunting down the last survivors here, Bedshed and EBR. I think the Leopard will put in maybe one, maybe two more shots, maybe even a good HE shot into the Bedshed. Nope. And that will be the end of it.
Tough match for Lotus. I don't know how else to describe it. Tough match. I mean, Cashback didn't seem to take it that easy. You know, they're here for the points. They exactly died and they get out again.
No, I mean, every point counts in the fight for first place, and Cashback definitely doing also something that is important if the points are equal, padding your round win difference. So 4-0 definitely helps.
No, and it was a mature match from Cashback. You know, they didn't do any shenanigans. They didn't try to experiment or anything. They just played solid worldoftanks, deservedly so, winning 4-0, getting the points that go with it as well. And for Lotus, this was just a match in which I don't think they ever really had a chance outside of that one Himmelsdorf round. The rest of them, yeah. And this one, Botsian's, well, what can you say?
Well, I mean, he fired once, didn't hit, took 9 shots, all of them penetrated, 900 meters traveled. That's all I can tell you.
That's how the cookie crumbles in his case, sadly enough. And for the Cashback team, I mean, they're probably pretty happy with that, but for them it's also just, you know, what they expect, right, in the match like this. Shouldn't struggle too much against a team that is not a playoff contender when they need to be starting to get ready for those playoffs, because they're coming very, very quickly.
Do you think Little puts himself, like, actively into damage dealer tanks to stay on top of the leaderboard?
Of course, you know, as you know, that way he can say that he's not just the FC, but he's also the main player.
Well, I guess that was it for Cashback versus Lotus. A bit of a one-sided match, but still a decent showing for Cashback against the underdog. Hit and Run versus Mafia in the next match will definitely be one of the highlights. We'll go into a quick highlight break, and after that we'll be back with the second match of today.
Hello gamers and welcome back to the Surfshark Onslaught Legends Series Season 5. Replaced out Phil with Banter, happy man after a 4-0 prediction, right? Now we're going to be playing against Hit versus Mafia though. Banter, did you mess the button?
No, I didn't. It said I had an error on my TeamSpeak. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay, so I guess...
Perfect. No, this time is a genuine... I genuinely got a TeamSpeak error.
A TeamSpeak
Anyway,
error.
I won the predictions. That's all that matters. Daki, please remember it.
Yeah, I just thought you were like...
Keep talking about it.
I thought you were trying to be a mime or whatever artist, you know, like...
What? I'm stuck in a box.
Yeah.
Stuck in a glass elevator of emotion.
Basically.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm back up there in the points. You know, I took some risks today with the predictions. You'll see it later. But looking at the lineups here, Mafia versus Hit, the blockbuster, Polish derby.
I mean, this
round 2 electric boogaloo.
This is the repeat of the season 4 finals, the repeat of the WCI finals, and the predictions are showing that people are not sure if it's going to be Hit and Run or Mafia, and I think that's fair. I really do believe that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's 51% for Mafia. That means they want Mafia to win, right?
Barely. But maps as well, interesting ones. Himmel's coming out as very first one, right? But then the interesting one is Pilsen yet again coming through for Mafia. This is their map, I feel.
Yeah, Pilsen's a bit of a roll of the dice between these two teams. I mean, they can both perform. Sand River's the big one for me, actually. I've seen Mafia have played a lot of Sand River this season, and they're taking it yet again. So I think we're going to see some good stuff on Sand River. We've seen them play it on nearly every match. I think it's one of their main maps. Himmelsdorf coming out, yeah, pretty standard one, and Cliff as the tiebreaker. Looks like it's going to be a good one. I'm getting a bit tired of Pilsen, though. It's not my favorite map.
I mean, I like to see what Mafia play. They're usually very, very good at it. So what I would normally put Himmels a bit more towards Hit and Run because of the quick pace and aggression. Pilsen I would then give to Mafia, and then Sand River I would say 50-50. So I think we might be heading to Cliff.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Moravanka this season, actually. I only just realized that. I think it's probably the least, the map we've seen the least, that and Ensk. Quite surprised. We've seen more Ruinberg than we've seen Ensk and Muro, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we have indeed not seen it that much. Trying to think back. We haven't seen that much Ensk either, though.
No, like I'm saying, I think the least two maps are Muro and Ensk, which is quite a surprise. Tundra we saw a lot of in the initial parts of the season, but now it's completely dropped off. I think people are not enjoying it anymore. But predictions, you and Phil 4-3, me and Key going for Mafia 4-2 and 4-3 respectively. I had to roll the dice with this one a little bit. It is kind of a 50-50 prediction. It's really hard to predict.
That's why I'm saying that the playoffs will make the difference later on, because it is kind of hard at this point to, between these kind of teams, to guess which one is going to win is not that easy at all.
Yeah, and we've just had the stats coming through in our ear of the amount of times the maps have been taken. Tundra is actually the least played map. I feel like we saw it a lot in the beginning. Ruinberg 12 times, Ensk 13, Muro also 13. And the rest a little bit further up. But yeah, Pilsen, the most played map. I think it's getting chosen by Hit and Run Mafia and Cashback. But looking at the lineups here, Mafia, IS7, Type 5, CS 140, Double Fosh B and an E4.
Hit and Run a bit heavier though. W100 at 60p, CS at 140 and Double Fosh B behind it as well. Especially that bulk of heavy tanks there for Hit and Run. No W100 60p, a lot of meat in that.
Yeah, and you kind of see that. That's the nice thing about OLS. The fact that the meta, you know, OLS is only like a 3-week event, but, well, a bit more than that. But you see a lot of meta shifts. In the beginning, it was types. Now we're seeing it in hundreds, even 60 TPs coming back in the meta. And so it's a really interesting change. But both teams playing this, you see, it's like they read each other's minds. You know, Double Fosh B from both sides and a CS on the hill.
Rufus will have the strike. Ooh, Conrad taking a big shot there from the 60 TP. Monster will have the info return, so he sees these tanks and they're backing off. Hit and Run will have to respond, of course, as well. Mafia now converging a little bit towards that cap, and Conrad taking another one on the crossing. So -1.5k on that IS7. That's hurt. That hurts.
Yeah, and if he wants to go into the cap, he's gonna need to make that crossing one more time. And now Mafia are in a little bit of an awkward position. No 1-2 line control. They don't have hill control. The IS-7 is stuck there. The 140 is backing away. I think they're kind of feeding Conrad to the wolves here.
60p going wide, looking for Conrad. Monster, Barbarian, Panzerfury just chilling on the hill. They know that they have the advantage with that. The 140 will go and cover, so I think that will stop Ketsai from going on the hunt too much in his 60p. See him backing off as well. He's like, okay, cannot do this. Gonna go back. And now it's gonna be an 8-line push. That's doubly 100.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat to chew through. I feel Mafia are forced to make a play here because they just don't have the positions. They're in a massive disadvantage positionally at the moment. YOLO is forcing them through, but these E100s are not scared, and YOLO doesn't have the DPM for this fight. If they want to make this work, the Foshes need to go as well, but they're going to take so much damage. Tizek pushing forward to pressure out YOLO might be a bit of a mistake. Obviously, he doesn't know about the Foshes behind him.
Well, he will know soon enough, you would say. Orchek, Rexar, Kono, they're now all coming. YOLO's taken a lot of damage already, though at this point. There's no strike available for hit and run. Now Orchek and Rex are moving through, trying to get the damage onto Tisek, but that E100 does make it back just in time. Damage being taken on Orchek, significant, minus 1.5k. Rexar pops the ability to strike now coming out from the side of Mafia, but it's only Rexar right now. He's already getting pushed back by the 140. They're just peeking out. Orchek is dead. Rexar is soon to follow, and round number 1 is not going the way Mafia would ever want. Panzerfury already dropping from above. Barbarian coming in from behind, and the hopes and dreams of Mafia on this first round of Himmels get shattered as hit and run mimic their movements, but just do it just a bit better. Take that hill, and then afterwards, you know, W100 on the 8 line. That is a fortress. That is a wall that I don't think Mafia had the tanks to get through.
Yeah, I was just checking the stats to make sure we weren't watching Lotus. This just wasn't close at all. Hit and run tactically outplaying Mafia completely, and Mafia really not having a clue in this entire game. Monster, he took the risk to take that info point, and because of that, Mafia are forced to go down, and they gave up 1-line control, and they were forced to make this 8-line play, and 8-line is such a hard push to make just because of the amount of crossfire angles you can take, and also with the map changes on Onslaught, the fact that you can leave the hill through the blimp, it just means that the 8-line can be reinforced from the hill so much quicker. There was no hope in hell for Mafia in this round. They were in a bad position from the start, and hit and run made this look easy.
And kind of getting bullied if you're a Mafia fan. It hurts to see, but it's only the first round. Hit and run has the opening that really matches what Mafia was doing, but they're just quicker. You know, they take the info, and then for Mafia, you're like, do we continue going on the hill? We can't really do that, right? We could be running into 5 tanks, but then what do we do?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I mean, it's a catch-22 situation. They go up the hill. I still feel like if you have double Foch going up the hill, you know, the meta is not to go up the hill with more than 2 tanks. So I feel like they should still go at that point. I mean, it would have been an equal fight in the hill. But there's no way for Mafia to know that. I just feel like the play that they made was the worst, you know? If you're going to leave with the Foshes, go to the 1-2 line and play split map. Don't make this 8-line play against 2 100s. It was doomed to fail from the start. And this was really Mafia hurting themselves here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess committing on the hill would probably be the better result in this. Now they try to push the 8-line, but I also don't think they expected W100 to be a hole in the 8-line, you know?
I'm not sure if they had that info at any point. I feel like the info was there, though. I think, who was the IS-7 who drove into the cap by Mafia? He took E100 shots in the crossing. They knew the E100s were there.
No, he took 60p shots.
No, he took more than 160 TP shot.
He took 2 times 700.
Oh, okay. I thought he got shot by the 100s from the 8-line. Ah, okay. Well, either way, I mean, there was just... I don't think this was the play. Even when the type sees the double E100, I feel like it's much better to go back up the hill and pray for luck there. We've just had it in our ear that Yusik and Ozek literally fired 0 shots. So I feel like they just kind of gave up. I think they knew it was over, go next. You know, who needs to pad your damage for the spreadsheets? You know,
there goes.
You want points. You don't want spreadsheets.
There goes Orchek's DPG though. Yeah, but first round. I mean, I did say that I think that Himmels is the more favorite map towards hit and run, and so far they're proving that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this was kind of Mafia just hurting themselves, though. I feel like this was hit and run didn't really do anything. They just sat on the 8-line with 2 100s and You know, pushing 2E100s is nothing good at the best of time. You've got DPM, you've got hit points, you've got good tracks which can absorb heat rounds. You got a pretty decent gun for that close range. This was never going to work. This was less Mafia playing well and less Hit playing well, and more Mafia just, I don't know, driving with their eyes closed, in my opinion.
Well, second round, second opportunity, and at least, you know, even if they lose this 2-0, we've got Pilsen coming up, you know.
Yeah, exactly. In theory, Mafia's playground, but Hit and Run, you know. Pilsen is a map where it's all about bit player skill, but team play, communication, and timing. Like how you work together to make that timing. And I think the teams that have the most synergy are Cashback, Hit, and Mafia, and it tends to be their playground. Still an interesting pick by Mafia to choose Pilsen, though. I'm quite surprised at that one. But yeah, I mean, they have a chance here to make it 1-1. Do you think there's any side that gets the advantage on Himmels? I wouldn't say so. I think
No, not
North
really.
gets a little bit better. But, like, I'm talking 51%.
I mean, I think both sides have something going for them. You know, from the start, you have that 3-lane position where you saw the 140 in as well. While
Yeah.
North has a bit better hill access. I don't know. I don't think it's like really one or the other.
Enough of a make to difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lineups though: Mafia, Triple BZ, Type 5, 140, Double Bliska.
A lot of meat in that one. Hit and Run, 60 TP, Type 5, CS 140, Double Bliska and a Foch. A bit more controlled lineup by Hit and Run, but still got those Bliskas for the aggressive play. But Mafia's, that's a lot of meat to go through with those Triple BZ Type, the Bliskas. They got to make something aggressive here, because in a slow game, they're really going to suffer.
6 tanks, 1-2 line for the likes of Mafia, except Rexer is also peeling towards the 5 line. Hit and Run not really challenging, they're still playing towards the hill, but for Mafia this game will be one of, they cannot really sit in location, right? The CS from the hill undoes everything they want to do, so once they realize Hit and Run is sitting back, they're going to have to do something to react.
Yeah, and they are just doing that. Double BZ going to apply cap pressure. The BZ on that one line, he wants to go take the strike, but he's just making sure there's not much there. You see YOLO on the left side of your screen boosting into the strike. Tizek, let's fly a shot, non-connection. But these Bliskavitzers, I'm not sure if they were spotted though. They will get spotted on this crossing though. DJ is anticipating it. We'll see if YOLO takes the shot at the Bliskas. The Bliskas take the big one on the crossing. Conrad takes one coming forward onto Tizek. Franek getting out of there on time, just leaving Tizek on his lonesome. But that's fine because he's a Type 5. He can take this push.
Yeah, Tizek in the Type 5 holding, Yusek crossing, taking 2k on that crossing for himself, and now Panzer Fury holding the other angle. Orchek wants to go for this fight, but he still has to somehow get through this Type 5. He's sliding a little bit on the rubble piles there. Not that easy for that Bliskavitze, especially with that shallow gun arc. And now Mafia has taken over the 3 line. Hit and Run has the hill. The Bliskavitze on the K line getting a little anxious as well, holding the angle, and Hit and Run has settled into these positions relatively easily. But the Type on the 4 line, could he be impactful? Can he get some shots out on towards them? What is the next move for either of the two?
Yeah, it's quite interesting leaving the Type on that 4 line. Not sure, you know, you want your Type in the game with its hit points. I think Hit got a little bit of the advantage in that scenario. They dealt a bit extra damage, Yusek down to 1400. Bono took a bit as well, and now we're just in this awkward game where Monster's lording over everyone on the hill. Nice shot by the Type of Rexar to Monster on that hill. All shots on that CS are important, but I feel like the longer this game goes on for, the better position that Hit and Run are going to be just because of that hill.
Ooh, Monster taking another one from Rexar. Not what you want from that CS63. I mean, sure, he still has the advantageous position, right? But losing half his HP, ooh, good damage there on towards Rexar though. Numerous shots flying into him, minus 1.5k. Was forced out of position. Franek taking the strike, Monster taking the info. Franek will still be able to take the strike, even though he got reset for a second there. And Hit and Run take that HP lead in their hands. And so far, I don't really see a way for Mafia to push right now.
Yeah, the same. I mean, Monster took a lot of damage on that hill to push Rexar out of position, but we saw it's worth it. Rufus was spotted on the crossing. DJ gave him a shot. I think Monster missed that one. He's going back for the strike again. But yeah, Mafia are in a really awkward position. It needs to be YOLO, Ozic, and Conrad that make the move.
Problem is Rexar is isolated.
Yeah, but he can't do anything from that position.
No, I think Hit and Run
sure.
could go kill him at any moment.
Yeah, but I guess that would give them the tank advantage, but I feel that they've already dealt more damage. You know, Both teams are parity in terms of strikes. And I feel that Rexar is just completely out of game. He doesn't have any shots because of the blimp in the middle of the map, so he's quite pointless. But Mafia are grouping up here. It looks like they want to go for that north play. Good shot by Panzer Fury into YOLO. YOLO wants to return the favor. Looks like he might have just intuition there. Boosting forward.
Well, the problem...
Need to see if this works out. Barbarian is covering.
Problem here is that Mafia is currently pushing this with inferior tanks for this engagement. Barbarian already looking towards that corner as well with the first B. Has 6 waiting. Written YOLO's name on it. Kono peeking out. The strike coming out. The second strike coming out even. Down towards the one shot immediately. Barbarian now pushing forward with his 4 shells. He knows he can do it as Yusek is alone in that lane. He's going to go straight for that BZ-75. Vorchek trying to peek out, but he's held by Tisek and Ketsai. Kono goes down. Barbarian now in reload, but he's joined by Tisek to follow up against that 140. And all of a sudden, Mafia has absolutely nothing left in this battle. The strike comes out and it will do good damage, but that is a little too late for the side of Mafia. Hit and run, a mature game, falling back, taking those positions, and kind of schooling Mafia here on Himmelsdorf in not 1, but 2 rounds respectively. The first one was a blast. The second one, however, it's not that much better, even though the HP is closer. Mafia never really had a way in.
No, they didn't. That type in the north, such a strange decision. Just one tank with so much HP out of game. And then...
Did they just get 7-0 twice?
Sorry?
Just get 7-0 twice?
Yeah, they did. The first one was even worse. It wasn't even close. This is embarrassing for Mafia and my prediction, actually. But, yeah, Mafia just pushed into positions that are not that good for their tanks. They took a lot of HP to gain inferior positions where they're forced into pushing hit and run. Hit and run have the hill control. They have, and they had DJ on the, what would you call that? The J line, maybe. He spots all rotation through the rails. That's what I mean. So Mafia are forced to make a south push, and Hit knows that. So they set up with Barbarian. They set up with the 60TP, the Type, the Blisker. And they just punish every move that Mafia makes. It's like you said, it's a mature round. They ran with the 140 when Mafia made the push, and punished them for every inch of territory they ceded, and then never let the game go after that.
Well,
strange tactics by Mafia.
Himmelsdorf done. Pilsen is going to be the one to be followed up. Luckily enough, this is a really good map for Mafia, so I'm not too worried about the 2-0 just yet.
Just yet. Yeah, but, you know, these rounds on Himmels, they don't give you much hope, do they? It's kind of like Mafia, when Mafia, kind of like when W got the, you know, they were wiped the floor with by Cashback. You know, it doesn't give you confidence that you see these Himmels of, we're here for competitive games. This is the World of Tanks derby, the Polish derby. This is the El Clasico of World of Tanks, right? We want to see some competitive games, and Mafia have just rolled over and shown their belly 2 rounds in a row against Hit, and that's a concern.
The first 2 Himmels rounds were indeed a little worrying. If you're a Mafia fan, who did you vote for? I don't remember.
What, with the predictions? I did 4-3 for Mafia. Key did 4-2, and I think you and Phil did 4-3 for Hit, I think, in my memory.
Well...
So, yeah, being a Hit fan, it doesn't feel that good right now.
You know, like, you got the first prediction right, but if you lose this one, you're back to square one.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. But if I get it right, then I get to remind you all day, so it's all good.
I mean, it was Phil throwing most of the shade, to be honest.
It's fine. I'll have my revenge on him later, but you should see my prediction for the next match. That's the bold one, where I put all the chips on the table.
It's W versus...
Yeah, I put CTR to win.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a bold one.
That's a bridge too far.
I really thought about that one a lot.
I thought that Lotus was gonna put up a fight today, and then they didn't. You know, so sometimes
I didn't think they were gonna put up a fight.
But sometimes overthinking it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, right? It's boys to men. No matter what happens, I can't fall below key hand, so it's fine. I won't be the loser. I'll just be somewhere in the middle.
Pilsen. It's a really good map for Mafia, but Hit and Run is not a bad Pilsen team either.
No, definitely not. And this map lends itself well to the style of gameplay that both these teams play, but lineups, Mafia, triple BZ, double 50M, 140 EBR, nice and aggressive there.
Hit and run and return I7, type 5, 140, double push B, E4, and RHM. A bit slower, yeah.
Yeah, taking the EBR of the RHM as well. Don't have that plane, but you get a bit more mobility and, in my opinion, not a very good ability. But still, you get the speed. It's an EBR is always a nice tank, you know, just because of the mobility and the wheels that you get with it. But openings, Monster did use the plane. Only 2 tanks spotted. That 140 E50M spotted going towards the field. So hit and run with not that much info in the beginning.
Also, Kono is a phenomenal EBR player, so there's that as well. He spots on Monsters, pushing him back, spots the crossing. Monster takes a shot of damage, and the triple PC makes it to the cap. I'd never spotted either, right?
Yeah, they weren't spotted at all. But they don't have that much cover, only the E50M.
Yeah, but look at how far Kono has pushed these guys back on the south.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a really nice opener, pushing them away so they don't take the damage. He'll get the strike here completely for free. Obviously, we can see that he doesn't. Plane coming out on these tanks. DJ will need to make the peak here, and he should take significant damage to get this decap. I'm not sure if the type makes it from the south.
Well, DJ has to peak, but look at the damage taken, minus 1.7. The type 5 is coming as well, but he has an E50M facing him off as well. He takes 2 shots already. Ketsai looking for the reset. 4 seconds left. Who's going to get it? Ketsai will not. The type 5. I think this round might just be stealing. Monster goes down for this. Explodes because he had to make the peak. They need to get the reset. Ketsai missing again. So it's gonna have to be the type 5 to body block with his entire tank on it, and I think this should trigger Mafia into pushing off of this cap normally, because they can no longer hold it, but they've made such an advantage so early on. You can see them now starting to leave the cap, and the Fear pops the ability. That is going to heal him back, but these BZs, they're so healthy, they're just splitting up the damage between them. Orchek coming out as well on the back lines, the BZs marching forward. In the meantime, on the field, the IS-7 is getting overrun by Profuse and Kono as well. And talking about openings, this was one from Mafia that was absolutely brilliant. Pushing hit and run back on the south, getting the info, getting the BZs onto the cap, unspotted as well. It was all brilliant.
Yeah, it really was. I think Mafia hit and run played with a bit of confidence here. They didn't expect such an aggressive field play by Mafia, as well as an aggressive cap play, meaning they were pushed back to the red line, and decaps just went there. Rexar in the 50M, he was pressuring back Tizak, so Tizak couldn't get that decap without getting eaten alive by that 50M. And by the time Barbarian arrived to push him back, it was already too late. That peak by Monster absolutely deleted. Who was it as well? DJ also peaking and taking 1.6 without ability. Really a masterful opening by Mafia. Absolutely tactically outplaying hit and run here.
Funny thing is,
back at it yet again.
Funny thing is, right? Hit and run 7-0 Mafia, 2 rounds in a row.
That's gonna be 7-0.
Now it's gonna be 7-0 the other way around.
Yeah. It's the brothers' war, you know? If one brother performs poorly, look how close Kono is. Because one brother performs poorly, the other one picks up the slack, but...
He's 6-0, because they didn't kill Barbarian.
Hit and run, some panic on hit and run side to get those decaps. Unusual by a team like hit and run.
They have nothing to reset with, though. That's the problem. Like, DJ is the only one.
I feel it's better. I don't think it's the right idea. I mean, Ketsai bounced 2 shots.
He bounced 2
shooting
shots.
through the
You can argue that if you're shooting at that distance with an IS-7, it is Onslaught.
No, I'm not.
You can, because if you want to secure decaps, you shoot HE.
Well, yeah, or shoot the tracks or something.
The tracks is hard because you could miss, but like at least one of the 2 could have been easily an HE shell. But I don't think they're winning the round off of another reset. That's a problem.
No. The type needed to come in, and then the type should have taken the shots to eat the E50M.
I just think the problem
to get that decap.
I think the problem is they always lose almost, because there's so many tanks in the south. Kono spotted every single one of them. There was like 4 tanks south, right? Something like that. Where Mafia had very little. Kono herded them all back, you know, like put them all into the south part, and they're like,
the sheep.
Yeah, literally, like he herded them towards the south. They had no strike access. They have no quick decaps. So no matter what happens, I think, you know, if the type goes to block, the type gets pushed. The E4 peaks, the E4 gets blasted. Monster got E4 blasted, but at least he did 69
damage.
Nice,
Ideal.
Perfect. So like I think no matter what, they lose this round.
Yeah, they really do. This was just not it, like at all, and really like it was really like sheepdogging. Actually, you are right. Like Kono pushing them back, and because of the fast cap, they're forced to rotate to the other side, and because they're forced to rotate the other side, Profus in the 140 joins Kono and they jump on the IS-7 and
Yeah, and because
very
Kono hurts them back, they're not going for the field straight at all. Like even the light, Monster gets spotted, it's like, oh, it starts running away. The rest of them turn out as well. So it was a really...
And Monster did not have the game of his life, He got pushed away, then he peaked.
I mean...
69 damage and a dream.
He had to peak, though. He had no choice.
Yeah, he did have to peak, but... And I think it was spotted when he peaked as well.
And the thing, even if he wasn't, the problem from him is he's speaking in line with the E4, so he's
Yeah, so they're already pre-aimed,
So they just have to slightly aim, and well, Monster is an RHM, let's be real, an RHM is not that hard to hit on 300 meters.
No, even with a BZ gun. So, yeah, masterful response by Mafia.
I still find it interesting that everybody is okay, we're playing Pilsen against Mafia. It's really interesting.
Listen, hit and run are no slouches. On this map, we've seen them play it well. Yeah, I'd say I'm surprised allowing Mafia to play Pilsen and San River. San River being the map that I think, along with Pilsen, the map that Mafia have played the most. I'm quite surprised. Like a Tundra ban, I don't see any universe in which Hit and Run or Mafia actively choose to play Tundra. So... yeah, you can call it a mistake by Hit and Run to choose this map, but lineups, YOLO, BZ, double TVD7, Type 5, 140, E4, BR105, yet again, we'll need to see if he has any more Sheepdog action for him.
Hit and Run, IS-7, double Type, 140, double Push B, and the RHM yet again.
TVD7's on this map. What's the verdict? What do you think?
I'm just not a fan of the tank right now. I like the T57 as a tank a lot, but right now it just feels a bit below what other tanks do. It's really hard to make it work.
Well, yeah, the ability is not that great. When you're playing T57, you're kind of close quarters anyway. The reload, it doesn't get improved at all, so you still have that long reload. But the tank is still nice, but it's in 7v7. Because other tanks get abilities, it's much better. But Monster, a lot more passive opening. You don't make the mistake once, shame on me. Second time, shame on you. So Monster AI learning has kicked in. Tries to get the decap onto Kono, not able to. He is going into that arena.
And duels it down and actually ends up winning as well. Kono with the APCR shot, I think. Monster with the HE. HM starts with more HP base as it is. So Monster's this mass strike. Forcing Kono away. Kono is coming back in though. He's going to back off, but takes a shot from Ketsai this time, who doesn't miss that. Maybe a little overeager there from Kono.
Yeah, he didn't anticipate the aggression. He gets rightfully punished for it. Ooh, a little bit more. Nice. Much better by Monster Kono. We were praising him in the previous game, but now he's constantly playing down to a one-shot. He's got to keep moving now because of the strike. He can't sit still. In the meantime, Yuzek making a play onto DJ, but the Fosh is in crossfire. He's making the clip onto Yuzek, but those double T57s are coming in, and Barbarian will not get the heal off here.
He will not heal. He will not heal. Orchak has it. One shot. They couldn't miss it, so they have it. But in the meantime, want to point out, Yuzek down towards the one shot, basically, for these Type 5s. And also Kono has died in the EBI. He actually got picked up by the strike, I think. So, yeah, the 57s did great, but they have to continue on here. Yuzek needs to somehow get above that one-shot range as well. 694 will not be enough either. There comes the 57s, though, starting to clip out now on towards DJ. The strike coming out. Can they get him before he gets around the corner? The 57, it does! The burst, not once, but twice. 2 times down. In the meantime, Profuse on this eastern side is going to die in the 140. The Inspire will die rather quickly. He tried to dodge the HE there from Monster, didn't work out. Will get maybe one more shot out before he goes down. Manages to do it, and now it's a 5-on-5 with double cap pressure on for Mafia. No strike either for the side of Hit and Run, so T-Sec is going to have to start booking it into this this decap, because who is going to decap? They're again running against the clock. 16 seconds, 15 seconds. Franek is trying. Monster will not get the strike on time. Panzer Fury, it's going to have to be the all-in, I guess, because right now there's not going to be enough time for them to reset, unless I miscalculated. T-Sec is the only one that can get there with 4 seconds left. He will be able to make it just on time. 1 second, he denies the cap.
Yeah, Conrad forced to peek there.
Oh, wait.
Panzer Fury in an awkward position.
It's over.
Left. He's
it's
now
over.
Reload.
It's over. Yuzek killed T-Sec, so the cap continues through, and the strikes were too late. It's over. Mafia make it 2-2. I was watching out for that when you took over. Like Yuzek peeked T-Sec, killed T-Sec, and it was like 1 second left. So
Who did Tizek shoot? Did he shoot D4?
I don't know who he shot, but definitely not the guy on the cap. I also feel like Monster should have had the strike ready at that point already, because there was 15 seconds left on cap. He took the strike. Maybe there was
In the middle?
Yeah, he took the strike on the east. I don't know if maybe he put it instantly, but I feel like he didn't put it instantly.
I'm not sure. I thought Tizek had it. I assumed the E4 peaked him, but I doubt he would have shot the E4. He should have shot the guy in the cap, and yeah.
But there's
I didn't
also
realize it was
another
too
thing.
late.
Franek should probably be hovering. Like Franek was the 140 on the middle strike, right? So
Yeah, he should peek and get the decap when he shoots Tizek.
he should be covering Tisek for the peak
Yeah,
from the cappers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming the E4 on Mafia's side peaked and
Yeah,
shot
the
Tizek, but
E4
he was being pressured.
it's a-
He was being pressured from behind by the IS-7 from the field.
Tisek was a 2-shot, so he took a shot from the E4, and then Yusek peeked him, and Yusek on the 1-shot peeked him and killed him, actually. So
It's wild. That should never happen, actually. Like, there should be a decap either from the 140 taking the strike, or Tizek himself getting that strike onto the type in the cap that peaked him. That's a wild one, the fact that that cap is able to go through without a decap coming out. That's some miscommunication on hit and run side, because this was not a free game, but this was a cheap game, actually.
I mean, Mafia had a good reaction to Kono dying, though. I guess they got a little bit lucky as well that Barbarian was committed on towards this E1 strike.
Even then, though, like, they should kill Barbarian, sure, but I don't think the type should be caught. I think the moment those double T57s go on Barbarian, you cut your losses and you back away with that type. So yeah, you got so they traded a 140 and an EBR for a Foch and a type, and then kind of worse positions in terms of being forced into a cap pressure move. But yeah, I don't know. I feel hit and run were in the more advantageous position. You know, if the game goes on long, of course they have the light tank and the 140. But
I mean, so far we're bang on the money, though. Himmel's favored for hit and run, Mafia favored on Pilsen, both of them delivering.
Who's favored on Sand River then?
It's in Mafia.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think they've played more rounds on this one.
I feel like the slow game is just a bit better for Mafia as well.
Yeah. Who's FCing for Mafia?
Conrad.
Is it Conor? Conrad. Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, I had like an entire season where I wasn't sure either until I asked him.
In my mind, it's always just Profus, you know.
Right.
He's the one with the big idea.
I don't think the Inspire player is ever leading, to be honest. You have too much to focus on already. But by not dying, right? That's your main goal as Inspire. Do not die.
Yeah. You are the DPM tank, you know. You're the S-Conk at the back. We go back a few seasons, but yeah, I'm inclined to agree to say Mafia are probably favored here. They have played more games on Sand River, which is good for my prediction anyway. So yeah, it's been a weird match against these two. You know, the Himmelsdorfs were so one-sided. It felt like I was watching Vulgus. But these Pilsens as well. The first one so one-sided. The second one so complicated. You know, Kono dying like that after performing so well, dying like that. It's not great. But you take it away with the lineups. They keep changing.
Hit and run coming out. Double E100. There's no way. Double E100, E50, a Bliskovica, a Gorilla, and an E4 on Sand River?
It's my prediction, baby. It's coming out. No, let's communicate. You don't take two E100s and then a Jagdpanzer on the other side. I refuse to believe that. That's damage farming. Oh my.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, restart coming out. I think they thought it was a different map to what it was.
I feel like that didn't look very, you know, Sand River.
Sand River-y.
But they didn't really not give me like Sand River vibes, you know?
No, I mean, Jagdpanzer was well on Mafia's side. I feel like there was some match fixing going on there, you know. Maybe it was selected a different map and there's been some miscommunication, but it'd be a bold one. Not a smart one, a bold one. To take these tanks on Sand River. I mean, Mafia's lineup looked a little bit more Sand River, except the Jagdpanzer.
I mean, you know, Jagdpanzer on Sand River, I could see that one, actually.
No, I love it. I played Jagdpanzer on Sand River.
However,
It's
double
hell of a tank.
E100 on Sand River.
And a mouse.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's not 2018, you know?
it would be a very slow game with that, you know?
It'd be a very, very, very slow game.
Although I mentioned they go straight to cap, you don't have any tanks to the night.
Yep, that's how that works. You just sit and you heal each other in a circle. No. I don't think this is the lineup. I think maybe it presented a different map and they took different tanks, but we'll need to see. But what do you think of the matches we've had so far?
Very interesting. Very even teams against each other in a different way, you know? Both have their own strengths.
Yeah, these Himmelsdorfs were just bizarre, though.
I think
It's the same
the
with these
Himmels hit and run just had really good openings against what Mafia was doing. You know, game 1 they won the hill, game 2 they were not able to get pressured on the lower side.
Yeah, I'd agree, but lineups looking a little bit more Sand Rivery. Mafia, double BZ, triple 50M, 140, 430U, no light.
No, hit and run, IS7, 4 E50Ms, Udas and IHM. So very brawly from both sides.
Yeah, hit and run, going for that Udas that we saw Rufus take in Mafia's games on Sand River before. But yeah, a lot of E50Ms good on this map for brawl, so we might see some K-line action coming out here. One light tank of Monster. We'll need to see what info he gets in the beginning. 4 tanks spotted, all 3 E50Ms and a BZ being spotted. The 430U and the 140 going north not being spotted. Brawly lineups are quite a split from Mafia, not the whole team going K-line. I mean hit and run.
Mafia also not sending everybody. They're kind of evenly matched in how many tanks they're sending. If you look at it, 1 tank up, 1 tank in the middle, then the BC's there as well. Orchek spots out Katsai. Probably not going to want to take this duel, but might look to reset that E50M. Katsai has no clue that this is coming. Orchek has the lineup as well, gets the shot, but no connection. Katsai now peeking out in return. Takes 1 actually from the 140, and I think Orchek will take this fight now. Pops the ability as well. Katsai also, I think, has a higher level ability than the 430U, but so far, because of that 1 shot from the 140 and the Inspire on top of it, Orchek should be winning this. And now, by hit and run, trying to react by pushing the K-line, but already DJ taking a lot of damage. Minus 1.2, T-Sec taking some as well. The BZ's now started to join from Mafia as well. Barbarian on this K-line position, yes, and Orchek pushed back in the 430U, the 140 of Profuse taking a lot of damage as well, but the reaction is here already from hit and run on this K-line. This is where the fight's going to be. They're peeking up and over in towards this. They might even push this all together. And now, can they get it? Yusek is going to fall as first one. The focus fire so far from hit and run is on point. Yolo and the BZ not really contributing too much from the pocket that he's in. Conrad is the next one, and hit and run so far doing a very good job at getting the DPM out of the fight. They kill 2. They lose nothing so far. Finally, T-Sec goes down, but they need more than that. Yolo now realizing he needs to get into the fight. Kono missing on Barbarian. Yolo looking for the kill. Can he finally get in that BZ75? It's going to be Kono after all to get it. Panzer Fury jumping back over. Yolo wants to get DJ, but the 1-2 combination to the face makes him think twice about that one.
Yeah, in the meantime, in the north, Profuse ran away, kind of abandoning Orzic to his own devices. Rexar picks up DJ, but Orzic falls in return. This K-line should be cleaned up by Mafia. Panzer Fury will go down here, and then it's going to be a 3v4. But HP advantage heavily in hit and run's favor, and they do have this light tank in the late game. Rufus abandoning his 430 brother there, running all the way back to the base. Not really sure what happened in the north. It didn't look clean at all.
It's not even like what happened to Orchek. Like, how did Profuse lose so much HP in this scenario?
He lost a lot running away. Because he ran through the little village in E8, and he was being shot while running.
Fennec will take the strike, and the problem is that the light is uncounterable right now, and Yolo's about to die. Monster will use the radio tower. Afterwards, he will put the plane on Yolo, and Yolo will die. Yolo's spotted. Monster will use the plane to be sure. Normally speaking, there comes the plane. Yolo spotted out. Now the strike. Ooh, the first one misses, but they have the second one at least. It's going to be Monster with that one.
Yeah, and Mafia kind of knows they can't just sit here, so Kono pushing forward, but Ketsai's countering him a little bit. Nice position by Ketsai, gives him a lot of viewing angles into this base, so gives a big advantage. Ketsai can also deal with Mafia. Good prediction there by Ketsai, going back, knowing Rexar is going to be taking a shot there. But strike by Monster has been used, and Yolo does go down there. A little bit delayed, but now it's equal, but half the HP with this light. This is not really doable.
No, this is over at this point in time for Mafia. We're at 15-16, just above, using maximum gun depression, so That is not helping for them whatsoever. And yeah, hit and run. Winning this north part is what saves them the game, right? The way that they won it as well. And of course, having a light tank alive in an even situation is always a massive advantage.
Yeah, and I think Mafia struggled a bit on this K line. I think the fight should have been much more in Mafia's favor.
YOLO's position in J4, 5, like while he was focusing out the low HP guy at K3, it was also like abandoning his E50Ms on K4, you know?
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Yeah, him just being in the low ground trying to take the strike.
I mean, he was shooting the low HP, but I think he would have been better off just boosting to the K line and taking the direct fight.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, because that's what the other BZ did. It would have been much better just to boost into the K line and just focus fire. But yeah, this north engagement, I'm not sure who wins a flat shooting, you know, blow for blow against the 430.
Well, I think it wasn't even to begin with, because
they took a shot from the 140.
Yeah, but there's also this that they start with level 1, right? They both start with level 1, but Orchek popped his instantly after the decap onto the strike, while Ketsai shot Orchek and then activated. So Ketsai had level 2, I think, and Orchek had level 1 for Stidus.
Yeah.
And then it comes into effect that, you know, Orchek had the Inspire, but Ketsai didn't. So it's really hard to like calculate who has the better situation there for a while. But I think it's Ketsai because of the level 2.
Yeah, looking at the damage, hit and run, a much more even spread. Tizek the lowest, but he got focused out while pushing in, and you know that's what you want to see. You want to see a 50M with low, an IS7 with low damage, and a 50M with a lot of it, because that means that the 50M managed to get a lot out. But yeah, Mafia just not having the better K-line presence there. Yeah, as you said, YOLO just being in that low ground was kind of out of it. But
good focus fire from the hit and run side, though, in return, you know, pick it.
And keeping that one shot alive. You see that one shot on the K-line, I can't remember who, one of the 50Ms was hidden behind his E50M friend. He lived for a very long time.
Yeah, and they even took the push, they pushed over, they made sure to focus out the E50M, so that was all good for them.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, this one's so hard to predict. It was a close game, being equal on tanks, but just Mafia not playing it as cleanly as they could on that K-line, meaning they just didn't have that much HP in the late game. Especially because I think it was a 4 versus a 5 hit and run pushed into a 5v4 on that K-line. Because Hit had 3 tanks out. They had the Light, the Udis, and the 50M out. While Mafia only had the 430 and the 140. This K-line should have been much better.
The one advantage that Hit has is the extra E50M, of course.
Yeah. They have they have 2 PZs, when in reality Hit have more 50Ms. So they have a bit more DPM, but still they're pushing in. I mean, again, K-line positions.
I think I said 4-2, no? Let's say 4-3?
Should we check the stats?
I'm checking right now, actually. I'm not sure either.
Look as well. You said 4-3.
4-3. Should I said 4-2?
Yeah, no, it's Kian who said 4-2 to Mafia, so Kian's prediction is gone.
Good.
Mine is still alive.
Barely.
I do feel bad for Kian this season.
Why?
I feel like he just has...
You know, he's just slipping a little bit with age. It happens.
Phil should be slipping as well, and he's winning everything.
I mean... Well...
Anyway, I got my first prediction, so we're now equal on points, and I have a chance to lose points later with CTRs.
Nah, you're losing to you are going to lose so much on that one.
Let me dream, all right? We can't just keep saying the predictable stuff.
Yeah, you keep.
Sometimes you gotta roll
no.
on red.
When you're in that situation, you wait until the playoffs to start it, because in the playoffs you cannot predict it 100%.
Oh, in the playoffs, I'm just gonna close my eyes and start writing stuff. Listen, let me be bold, all right? If I'm right, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, interesting. Mafia, BZ, IS7, E50M, 140, and triple 430U.
Yeah, triple 430U. Hit and run, double BZ, triple 50M, RHM, and STRV. Interesting one taking such a brawly lineup with the STRV as well, but these 430s, 430 versus E50M, what do you favor on this map?
I would say hit and runs lineup. The 430U, man, heat, worst gun to begin with, objects.
I mean, the E50M also has heat, but the nice thing about that 50M, you've got quite a high profile. The turret's quite small. You get the side gun depression. And a bit more HP as well. The gun is more accurate.
The 50M also gets size advantage. You can actually shoot over things, where 432 is like kind of like, I can't look over it. You know, it's kind of short.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Short king.
for the cap, it's not that bad, I guess, you know.
Yeah, true. Being in that low ground, obviously, if you're fighting in an area with a lot of destructible fences and things, which means the Heat might struggle, but good. You know, we mentioned the camo value is not that important, you know, in OLS. I think we overstate the 430's camo value, but I think it is useful in those scenarios where you can peek and use the bushes, but opening play, double cap going on, and they're pushing in here with the 50Ms into Kono, but he's well covered by Profus.
And Profus is going to start blasting in that 140. Ooh, that's a big ram, actually, more than expected. The second one coming out as well. And sure, Kono is covered. DJ might actually even die for that. He will die for it, so the cover is there. Bye-bye, DJ. Got his ram out. That's a good shot there from Profus as well, on blind. Really good shooting. So 1 for 1.
Yeah, but not really. Ketsai going down to half HP and no significant HP lost on Mafia's side on any of the tanks. So you can say positional advantage for hit and run taking that, but Ketsai might take another going out here by Ozic. He doesn't. Ozic takes a little bit in that base, and the cap is still going on in the meantime. Tizek will block that one. Doesn't connect it though. Forced to back away, otherwise he'll take another, but a cap not really a reality here, but
good strike.
Barbarian pushing onto Yuzek.
Yeah, Barbarian is going to be covered by this STRV though, who's still sieging up in position. Barbarian fancies himself a little bit of Yuzek, doesn't pop the ability though, it pops it now. Yuzek with a really good peek on towards Barbarian in return, gets the shot as well. Barbarian now is in his ability, it's about to run out as well in a second, so that means he's going to reset back down to 0. The STRV gets a shot, he gets spotted out in return. Yuzek still wants to go for this. He needs to be careful from the STRV. Barbarian might continue forward, but it's a really tough position for the C50M.
Yeah, having such little HP, Barbarian can't even rely on winning that 1v1 just purely on hit points. The nice thing for hit and run is that they have this light tank, but I feel like they're not utilizing it that well. Tizek reinforcing that K-line, but Yuzek does have the 50M behind him. Yolo forced to leave down to a possible 2-shot for most tanks, so that's not great for him. That's Fury peeking on the top, and looks like they might want to jump onto Yuzek here. Ozic coming in to support. Barbarian peaks, gives 1, so that's going to give him some ability.
Problem is the STRV.
Run cannon with the superior positions right now.
Yeah, the Mafia, I mean, Orchak can that's a good strike. That's a good shot as well. Tizek not the greatest of peaks, I was going to say. The thing is, Mafia can't really kill these two because of the STRV behind, right?
Yeah, but the longer this game goes on for, the better it's going to be for Mafia, because that 140 is going to retake North control. So if the game continues at this pace, but Ozic forced back by the E50M in the mid, Yuzek gives one to Tizek. He's now 1-shot for even a CS strike. They don't have one on their side, but a regular strike. If that Yuzek and Ozic will probably go down here, but a play is being made on that crown area by the 430 and 140. They've pressured the BZ into their own position. Barbarian peaks, takes 1 from Ozic down to a 1-shot. These are 2 tanks, impossible strike 1-shots. Yeah. And they can't peek on Yuzek anymore.
In the meantime, hit and run, converging with Panzer Fury from that crown area in towards the middle. He realizes the 140 was behind him, so he's going for Conrad instead. But he's getting shot from Orchak as well, who's putting in really, really good damage from the backlines. Panzer Fury forced in, but he has no support. Yolo goes down towards Ketsai though, and Panzer Fury will get one more shot. Ketsai now taking the strike as well. Monster out in the open, running away in the RHM. Panzer Fury is dead to Conrad, and the strike being taken by Yuzek. The strike will get put back. The shot from Barbarian, the strike, the kill, the 1-2 combination. Barbarian will die against Rexar, but that was value right there for Mr. Barbarian. Back into a 4v4 though. Tizek still on his 5 HP.
Yeah, it's in a 4v4 now. Hit points in Mafia's favor, but bear in mind they do have this STRV, which is not a fighting tank in the late game. Rufus has to be that playmaker for Mafia, and nice connection by Ozic makes the kill. And now it's really complicated for hit and run. A lot of HP on that 50M. The RHM's pretty healthy, but being a tank down and having one of those being an STRV, that's going to cause problems for hit and run. They're going to make this North play. They're kind of forced into it. Franek trying to destroy these buildings to deny it. Monster peeking, gets the decap out, doesn't take 1 in return, which is good. Gives Franek some time to destroy these buildings and potentially get a decap. You can see he's shooting HE there. Inside will peek. Gives 1, but they're kind of trading. Good hit by Franek from the base. Which takes a lot for that though. You really don't want your Inspire taking this much. Monster might want to go for the peak.
I think Monster needs to cross through the north now. At this point, Katsai's backing
Yeah,
off. Good
he
peek.
can do it unspotted.
Good peek from Profuse. Orchek now taking the strike as well in the start. And Mafia wrestling back control of the match right here.
But Profuse, Monster in the north, he can get angles onto Profuse. I don't think Profuse can live there forever. You see, he's already angling towards the left. He knows that RHM is going to be flanking him and trying to take it from angles, but south strike taken, Rexar taking this north strike. Monster gives a shot into Profuse. Profuse needs to make a decision here. He can't just stay where he is.
Gets spotted out in the open, takes another one from Monster. Good peek there from Monster. Yes, CRV, Franek now moving as well. Monster uses the plane. Profuse taking a shot from Ketsai. Good angle there from 50M. He will get strike back, you would assume. Then Rexar finds the kill, even the double strike. So really good strikes from Mafia on that one. Ketsai did get the shot, but in return, his life was taken away from him by double strike.
And now we're just in a reset. Franek is even forced to peek here. Not where you want to be in that STRV. Takes one from Wojcik, but I don't think it's a massive... Ooh, double lasers coming in. But yeah, it's all on Monster right now to make a play. He will try and pick up Profuse if possible, but that's still going to be... You see, he's kind of hugging the ridge to peek, but I don't think he has very good shots where he is at the moment.
Nelson.
Really hard game for hit and run. And especially the longer this goes on for, the more strikes that Mafia can take.
Well, Monster spots out Profuse. I think he has a shot now. He stops for it as well. He shoots. He does not score. He only gets a track connection there against Profuse. He's now looking. Profuse shoots on blind, so Monster gets an opportunity again. Can he get it now? Needs to start off by killing Profuse. Good shot by Monster. Finds the kill as well. Resets with the plane also. Now it's 2v3. It's playable, but the SCRV is a really bad endgame tank.
Yeah, especially, hopefully it doesn't flip on this one, but yeah, like we said, I think they communicated that Profuse was dead, you know, he's gone. So just abandon him, go take that double strike, gives you the advantage. They don't even need to apply cap pressure. Based on the rules at the moment, they will win it. And the longer this game goes on for, they're going to get even more strikes from this. So it's such a hard game for Monster. He needs to be that playmaker. He needs more luck than anything, I think.
He needs to catch tanks out of position somehow. And he also needs Franek. So I don't know how they're going to do this, because they need the STRV close enough to fight. And Mafia's happy like this, you know, they're not gonna push.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go. Franek needs to take some kind of position where he can do something, and you see him starting to move. They realize that Mafia aren't going to try and take risks and close this game down. They're going for that guaranteed tiebreaker. So Franek probably coming towards that mid-ridge. But the moment he gets spotted, it's 900 damage straight to the face. No damage reduction on the STRV. It's a sniper tank, not a close range one. Might try and bait out the strikes here by taking the north one. Don't know if Mafia want to risk even blind placing the strike here. I think they're happy to just let them take it. Yeah, I think it's the right play, not risking it.
One check on zero line, covering that approach. Now Monster somehow needs to find Conrad. It's gonna be... They're gonna trigger the radio tower. That one will get strike though, you would assume. There comes the first one. Misses. Might opt to do this again. Rexar now starting to peek. Gets spotted out by Franek. Franek spotting out Rexar. Rexar makes a shot. Doesn't connect. Franek does connect it though. He may take a strike to the face. There comes the strike. Rexar with the peek as well. That was a good shot there from Rexar. A good peek as well. Finds the connection against Franek. He's down towards the two-shot himself though. Franek peeking this. He wants to get it, but he needs to be very, very careful. Monster moving in as well. Orchek has been spotted because of the radio tower. But 47 seconds. Orchek is coming on the side. They're going to try and take the strike, maybe. Last-ditch effort here. Well, Franek is safe.
I can imagine Conrad just screaming at Rexar to just get back and play safe. But strike will be taken. But even then, I don't think this RHM is going to have to DPM to DPM 2 tanks out to make it a 2v2 or a 1v1. Osich comes in. Monster not spotted, now spotted. Conrad trying to get away from him so he doesn't get strike.
Strike though. Monster is going to be forced to try something here. Takes immediately one from the 430U. Franek on the side. 10 seconds left. Monster has to try it. What's he gonna do? A last second jump? A last second jump? I mean, he has to try it. 3 seconds.
Jump and shoot.
2 seconds left.
Shoot.
Monster needs to do it. Now he gets the kill, equalizing the score. And who has dealt more damage now? The last second play ends up working out. Who has it on damage dealt?
Yeah, Ozic going close and
What was the lineup
losing
again?
all that HP. The lineup was, I mean, 50M has more HP than 430U,
Yeah.
and Hit and Run have a light tank. So
I
you
think-
would think Mafia have dealt more damage.
Mafia has dealt more damage?
You think, but Mafia had double BZ.
Mafia had double BZ, no
Hit
lights.
and Run.
Mafia had no light.
Mafia had one BZ, one IS7.
Yeah, Mafia had no light though, so they had a lot of starting HP.
Yeah. But E50M does have more than 430. So you see a IS7 BZ. IS7 has less HP than a BZ, right?
Yeah.
Plus BZ is healing. But STRV and the light means there's less HP.
I'm almost done, don't worry.
Alright, quick maths it. You got the Abacus out. A lot of damage by Monster though. 6,000.
Hit and run did
strike damage.
165 more damage if I'm not mistaken. If my calculator is right, they win it by 165 damage.
Tizek did 0 in that game. This was a bit of a throw by Mafia in the end game, to be honest. I really think this was a really unnecessary loss by Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, Orchek at the end there coming in as well, you know, gives Monster an opportunity to do a shot for free, right?
Yeah.
Taking the strike to the face as well, then it's out of position. Then they're all stuck below Monster, you know? Where before that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I mean...
200 damage difference, we're hearing it.
Huh?
Your calculator's a bit off.
Yeah, apparently.
Who won?
Unless...
You can't just write 200 damage difference and not say...
I mean, 165 and 200, maybe they rounded up, you know?
Maybe. Counting is quite difficult, but... We are awaiting confirmation, but... As you tell it, I am assuming it is probably Hit and Run.
I mean... Still calculator, come on guys, just blast out the calculator, it's damage dealt, no?
Yeah, if Daki knows how to count, you guys can, come on.
I'm recalculating it again, Panther. Let's hit it.
Alright, I believe in you. I'm not good with numbers.
Let's hit and run, okay?
Okay. 21,611 damage dealt by Hit and Run.
And 21,446 by Mafia. Hit and run 1. Dude, guys, you gotta be quicker on the calculators in the back room. Come on, we had this ready like a minute ago.
Yep, we had this ready, exactly. Me and
I'm extending
Anyway.
I'm extending the praise or something, you know?
Oh, thanks, man. It's always nice to have you on my side, but yeah, Hit and Run, winning it by less than 200 damage. That's crazy. That's such a bad... What to say? Profus probably needed to make a better decision, but even then, I don't think it was that bad. But then making these peaks on the 430, becoming low HP, and then allowing your Ozic to die in that 50M, so unnecessary. This should have been Mafia's game.
I mean,
And not just from my prediction.
kudos to Monster for playing it out this way, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Making the perfect peak at the perfect time and finding the kill as well, hitting the shot, you know. It takes one team to set it up that way and another one to give it. But yeah, Profuse didn't need to take the strike, didn't need to lose the HP. Let's start it off with that, right? Didn't need to give them an opportunity. They could have just consolidated on the south part of the map. There's no chance for Hit and Run to do anything, really. Or even he could hold in the base, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then afterwards, I don't think Orchek needs to go on top of that balcony there.
No, he doesn't. He can just stay in the base, and from the base bushes, he could spot a monster coming. Yeah, unnecessary. I think he wanted to go and try and make the E50M kill. And I think if he makes that E50M kill, not the E50M kill, sorry, the SGRV kill. If he makes the SGRV kill, then it's obviously Mafia's
Kudos
game.
to Franek, he went to hide behind the rock. So there's that. Well, that concludes Hit and Run versus Mafia. Kind of a nail-biter ending with Hit and Run stealing it away, taking home not just any points, but all of the points. When we come back, however, it's going to be CTR taking on W. But before that, a little bit of replays.
Well, hello there and welcome back to the third match of the day. It is still Surfshark OLS Season 5 and now we have two teams paired up against each other with CTR and W that have kind of both shown a downwards trend in the recent matches.
Especially W. I think honestly W has been on a rough streak. They got kind of owned by, I think it was Hit and Run, and then got absolutely decimated by Cashback. Now, for them, you know, they've got a few more matches before the playoffs start, right? Which first they have to make it to the playoffs, right? Sure. But you want to go into that with confidence.
Absolutely. And I mean, for CTR today, I think is kind of the last chance of, you know, having a shot at the playoffs, because they already played Lotus, who are kind of behind. And they are now basically playing their direct competitor for the playoff spot 4. And for W, I mean, this is really about damage control for Phase 2, where they want to make sure that they actually go into the playoffs now. And community prediction actually very close between both of those teams. Here is CTR 49, the Czech Lion roaring, W 51, so slightly favored, but it's kind of crazy to see that.
I don't think that's fair, to be honest. I think that's a bit of a stretch of the imagination. Some people here really on that CTR train. I would like to bring realism back into the conversation and say that I think it's more like a 70-30 for W based on experience alone. Sure, W lost their last 2 matches, but let's take a look back at who they played. They played Hit and Run and Cashback. All right, so those are no slouches. Those are the top of the league teams. And in that regard, I think this is community prediction is a bit off the money because of that.
I think the reason why some W believers have become doubters is maybe because of the way that W lost those matches. Like, it wasn't close, they just got utterly spanked. So maybe that is playing into it. Maps though, Pick and Ban Ruinberg. We're going to start off there. A map that we haven't seen too much throughout most of the season. Mostly Cashback playing on it. W choosing instead to go for a cliff into Ghost Town, and if we get to it, we're going to end it on the map that we just ended on as well, Sand River.
Yeah, if it gets that far, but it's a very different map, Pick and Ban, than we've seen so far. Ruinberg coming out between these two. CTR had a great showing on Ruinberg versus Cashback, so we're looking for more of the same from them. And then Cliff is always an interesting one. And you know, Ghost Town is the map where anything and everything will and can happen. So I've got to start it off with Ruinberg and see what happens there. I don't really think W has played this map much.
No, I don't think they've played it at all, if memory serves me correctly. But, well, they are going to now. And I think CTR is coming into this one hoping to be able to surprise W. That being said, though, I think last playday, CTR played... Oh, I'm not sure against who. Maybe Cashback as well. And they managed to actually find surprisingly good performances against Cashback on Ruinberg.
Prediction-wise, though, Kihan going with a 4-3, Banter going with a 4-3 for CTR, and Phil and myself going for a 4-2 for W. I mean, I don't know what Banter's huffing, but seems like he took over Jakefa's copium supply, since he doesn't need it, since he's on the bench anyways.
Oof. But yeah, I actually did the predictions after seeing the maps, and I was like, yeah, it's fairly possible that CTR actually do get a 2-0 here on Ruinberg. And then for W, they've not been super stable, so for them to then go 4-2, unlikely. But we'll see. CTR coming into this one with a BZ, an IS-7 and 140, 430U, and triple E4.
W in return 50B, IS-7, double T57, 140, 430, 4HP. Kind of really light though for Ruinberg.
Pretty much, yeah, I do agree. We have seen T57s work wonders, and we cannot forget that there is also Mentos with the 50B, so it's actually 3 Clipper heavy tanks. That is, I think, 4,800 damage potential, and with the ability, you actually end up completely obliterating people or taking so much HP off of them very, very quickly. But so far they're unspotted as CTR with the 140 going towards the field. They're going to have a bit of control, but now Mentos all of a sudden rushing in with the 50B. The damage onto Froley so far is manageable, actually, for the fact that the 50B completely clipped out.
Klurf now trying to get this IS-7 out of the fight, but I think he's also coming to the realization he cannot do that. Itox and Lukin now starting to look with their 57s for a clip. CTR is going to push past. Piotr's pushing into Froley. The clip coming out. Wood Dog is dead, but so is Klurf. There's a 1-4-1. These T57s are now out of steam though, and Mentos coming off of reloads will start clipping out on towards Herman in that BZ75, who's trying to push on towards the 140, who is also getting pushed by another 140 by Patras. And so far, W up in HP. Ios here, I think he will fall in that 140, but not before I think that Herman will die in the BZ75. The strike comes out. Patras gives a shot. Herman finishes it off. I was wrong. Herman will survive. And now it's 5 on 5 HP in W's favor though, and that's a good double tap from Lukin. Now peeking towards Floki. The pressure is continuing here from W. They want to eliminate Patras and Herman while that E4 is on full HP, not doing too much. Nepal, that was still in the damage receiving part, so he's going to be healing a lot from that. Patras is dead as well, and W with the unrelentless pressure so far is making it work. It's the quickest Rurenberg I think we've ever seen, and it's going to go W's way so far as Itox blocks Scotty Check from making it out. That's a good body block. He has no more teammates with shells though, they're all reloading.
No, all the autoloaders are now going to spend the better part of 20 seconds just getting shells back into the chamber, but I think W have done it at this point here. Nepal also coming in with the 4 speed, doesn't mind tanking a few more shots as Itox starts to clip out on towards Evo, gets shiddled by Nepal after, and I think W make a concerted team effort here in this Ruinberg round number 1 to show that, yes, they're a battered and bruised team, but when it comes to team play and coordination, at least against CTR, they can make it work.
First good round. Both teams very aggressive, pretty evenly matched for a long time. The middle fight, I think it's the name of the game for the last few Ruinbergs we've seen. Always this middle road over and over and over, and this time around W just has, I would say, the better tanks for it, because the burst of the 57 I think is there more impactful than the sustain of the an alpha of the E4. Also the added DPM those 57s get. Like, W has a lot of autoloaders there. Those lived for a very long time as well and got numerous clips out. But even Itox got 2 clips out, and he's the lowest autoloader on their team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you see those autoloaders completely on the top of the board. Mentos making it work beautifully with the 50B as well. I thought, like, the initial damage during the initial engagement, I believe, on towards Froley was not super great. But then again, it was only the 50B clipping out, and the T57s were actually being kept in reserve to then clip onto the reaction that was coming from CTR. And, well, they did a magic trick. I mean, Woodok just disappeared.
Yeah, that's the power of those burst tanks, right?
Absolutely. I mean, he was trying to cross, and that basically the opening in the road is, I don't know, like 50, 70 meters, maybe maximum. And he just died for it. And I think he even had damage reduction active, or never mind, he couldn't have because he didn't have damage. But even so, in Onslaught, the E4 has almost 3k HP, I believe, and he was just gone.
Yeah. So, good start. Very good start from W. And, you know, this Ruinberg I like a lot more. It's very, very quick and dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of seeing the same trend that we also saw last season with Siegfried Line, where for the longest time in the season, teams were playing it, if they were playing it at all, very passively. And only at the end did we actually see aggressive moves make an appearance where people, I guess, were getting more confident with the map, were figuring it out more. And, well, I mean, here it was actually CTR trying to make a move, but W was just so ready.
We might get a second round of this middle fight, to be honest. Wouldn't be surprised if we fight for the middle road again, you know?
I mean, yeah, I think the biggest thing why both of those teams were going for it is that, of course, the middle of the map is going to offer the shortest lines of communication for either team to work with. So basically, if you control the middle of the map, your rotations are just going to be quicker than the enemy. And the thing as well is there are no info towers on Ruidberg, so basically you can out-rotate the opponent if you have that middle. I think that's kind of what the philosophy behind this approach was for both.
Let's see. Round number 2 looks to be not really the same. W, 50B, I7, double 57, 140, 430U, and Fosh B.
And CTR is still changing around a little bit, but it seems like almost the same lineup once again. BZ75, IS7, double Fosh B, and triple E4. Still, autoloading power is going to be on W's side. I think for CTR, the win condition is going to be not losing the E4s on some crosses where the autoloaders can just remove a couple of them very, very quickly.
Could be another fight for the middle, and it looks to be, because look at Evo getting boosted even by Herman. In the return W, look at the 7-8 line, they're going as well.
Yeah, seems like we're going to be in for yet another brawl. W diverting the autoloaders into the city. So only Piotr in that IS-7 gets sent towards the middle, but I mean, he sees triple E4 plus double heavy tank getting sent his way. He's going to make his way in towards a hold down as Herman gets shot by the tanks from the city. But now the E4s might actually be coming in. And if there is something that the autoloading heavy tanks don't want, it's getting caught out like this. Yes, they do get the Fosh B in return, but Mentos is down and out.
Klurf and Mentos, not the greatest coordination there. Mentos really wanted to tuck in, but so did Klurf, and they kind of stopped Mentos from getting in. That was kind of ugly between the two of them. But in return, though, look at Patras and look at Kodicek. Kodicek is dead. Patras is not doing that much better, taking another shot, and now CTR marching on yet again. But this situation is even worse than the last one. The E4 is rolling forward. They're going to go for Piotr in the IS-7, but the downside is here that the 57s of Lukin is off reload. Idox off reload as well. Evo's pushing past, but he's pushing past into the grave. Nailed that coffin down. He's dead. Floki coming in. They still really want Piotr, but they're probably going to get him. But as a result of that, they're going to lose everything else. Rurenberg is a short and quick affair. A tough love for CTR, as they did great against Cashback, but W shows that they're willing to fight for that middle, and they just do it a little bit better. As a result, it's going to be Rurenberg over in about 4 minutes with a 2-0 scoreline for W.
Yeah, and we were, thinking about CTR doing well on Rurenberg in the last playday. It seems like W definitely have done their homework and have figured it out. CTR catching, well, a few strays in this one, and are going to be wiped off the face of the earth in, I think, record time for Rurenberg.
Yeah, I mean, that was very short, yeah. Very short. Good stuff from W. I mean, the only thing they could have done better there is, I think, between Klurf and Mentos, you know, the coordination there could have been a little bit better between the two. I don't think anybody had to die for that. Let's put it that way.
No, but then again, if you are instrumental in one of your teammates dying, then that just means that you can deal more damage later on, which is exactly what Klurf ended up doing. To be honest, Mentos is probably going to have a few words with him, but not too stern ones, because still scoreline is going to be 7-1, and W up 2-0 in an extremely quick fashion, and CTR probably a little bit stunned at this point. I think they were counting on getting at least one round here in Rurenberg.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Cliff, I think, would be a favor for W. Like, I would favor W there. You know, like, with CTR's performances on Rurenberg, I would be like, okay, Rurenberg evenly matched or in favor of CTR, but then we go to Cliff, where I think W has the advantage. Now we're going into Cliff with a 2-0 for W. That spells disaster.
Then again, I mean, CTR are a team that have proven before in this season that even if they're maybe taking a few hits, they never are down and out. There are some very interesting openings that we've seen from CTR, and I think Cliff is a map where you can play around with the openings to try and surprise the enemy, where unusual compositions with unusual numbers of tanks driving to 1-2, or for example middle of the map, can really end up catching the opponent by surprise. Because I think the past 2 rounds have clearly shown that when it comes to playing together as a team, W seems to be a bit superior.
For now, yes, and Cliff is another map that lends itself towards this kind of team play, right?
Yeah. I mean, there again, it's going to be about all of the things that realistically W was missing in the past playday. Like on Thursday, they got absolutely obliterated, but it seems like having Nepal back, for example, does a few good things for them.
Maybe not Nepal is their token you know, their lucky charm.
Yeah.
Maybe he sang some French chanson before the start of the match.
Maybe if he wants Moral to go down, then yeah, but well, at least Messi is not playing today. So Chucky, I think maybe there's the problem. Who knows?
Think Chucky was the problem?
He certainly didn't, you know, step up in a great way on Thursday.
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe Chucky was the problem. You know, even Messi gets old. Although some Messis drop off earlier than that.
All right. Anyway, game number 3 is probably about to start. And normally after Runeberg, you would say the pace of the game is going to switch after Runeberg into Cliff. But it might not. It might still be all-out aggression into Brawl as we continue in towards game number 3. Let's see if the tanks are going to switch. I'm fairly certain CTR is still going to do some of that. Meanwhile, W looks fairly final. Triple BZ75, MVY 277, Hurricane, and the 140.
CTR 50B, BZ, IS7, BAT, CS 140, and a Fosh B. A little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything. That always has the problem as well of the tanks kind of having different speeds, different mobilities, so they don't work together as well as, for example, the W lineup, because triple BZ75, well, it's literally the same tank. They're going to have the same speed as each other, but maybe it's not going to matter because CTR seemingly sending 5 tanks towards lower side, whereas W are sending 5 towards upper, leaving only Piotr and Klurf in the Hurricane to go down in towards them on 2, but this might be a problem because Patras in that 50B might be able to just put a clip in towards Klurf.
He's starting to do that as well. Klurf in the Hurricane now having to bail towards the strike. Herman pushing him as well. He's trying to dodge the last 2 shots from the 50B, but there's more tanks coming in for the side of CTR, but for W as well. Klurf will make it out. Piotr with the chase with the ram on towards Patras as well. Doesn't manage to flip him over, but here comes the cavalry for the side of W. Piotr though went a little bit too far, and this is good for CTR to have a really good crossfire. W is forced towards the corner. Evo a little bit out, hanging in the bad shot, is able to get focused out. Nepal coming in with the Mivi as well, trying to ram Herman, doesn't succeed so far. Everybody's staying alive though, that's the impressive part. Even Piotr still alive. Patras on a 1-shot, Evo on a 1-shot, Piotr on a 1-shot, everybody's on a 1-shot. But now though, so the guns start falling, and Klurf made a great play in that CS63. Look at him, he went to the F2 Cubby. Froley is now forced to push him out in return, but the 140 might take a lot of damage for this, and Klurf will drop off but still sit on the balcony. Herman now coming as well. It's a 2-man push here. Klurf still annoying, they gotta deal with him, and Herman taking a lot of damage, and it looks like CTR just starting to fall apart a little bit as Konicek starts to clip out on towards Lucan. They might find out, but Mentos with a great shield in the middle. Isles goes down, but still, W currently slightly ahead.
W slightly ahead also in the HP department as kills get traded once again. It is 4 versus 4 with W. 1,500 HP up. Klurf still able to hold the angle, to hold the crossfire, and all of the tanks by CTR currently concentrated around the donut area, whereas W still have a few cross shots available, but I think they need to get Itox into the fight as Klurf shuts down Herman. This means 4 versus 3, but once again kills get traded. Froley to shut down Mentos, and now I think CTR with a last hurrah here trying to outtrade Nepal in that MVY, but I think Itox, as soon as he presses X, that is going to spell the end possibly for CTR in this round, as Klurf picks up Koidicek as well. 3 versus 2 plus crossfire for W.
That's over at this point. W will close it out, make it match point as well, and those community predictions of what is it, 49-51 in favor of CTR or W, don't even remember. Currently looking a little bit bleak, not looking like that's about to happen. Let's put it that way. Not looking like Vantage predictions about to happen either. Some stuff there in that round. Piotr a little bit overeager, gonna be honest. But Klurf, eh? Just like the footballer back in the day, you know, dribbling around his opponents around the rock, back to F2. That was a great play. Survives, most importantly, but also on top of that, goes to a really, really strong position. And I think he did a pretty high amount of damage from there as well. Was putting in shot after shot. So the fact that he takes less damage, survives, goes there, and then it comes in top for the team as well, I can only say congratulations. That was well played by Klurf.
Yeah, individual performance definitely there coming out from Klurf.
7K.
And the fact as well that he was able to like finish tanks at very, very important points in the game. I believe he got the kill on towards Herman, where Herman really was starting to build crossfire against the MVY of Nepal. But as soon as Herman then died, who also did, by the way, 4.5k damage, that was just the beginning of the end for CTR in this round.
That's
Also,
just that,
shout out to
actually.
Floki, who somehow did 7k.
Yeah, the most important part that Klurv did, which I don't think you noticed, is not even the kill on Herman, because he's always getting that one, but is he striked the Foch B of Kodicek after his ability ran out with a big strike of 250 and dropped him to a one-shot range, which then I think Mentos or one of the other BZs ended up picking up before he went down.
I actually have to say that, yeah, I didn't properly see that situation. But anyway, like his crossfire position where he basically forces 2 or more enemy tanks to take a lot of damage to try and dig him out, where they didn't even manage to do that. Plus also being able to get the kill pickups and like focus the fire on the tanks that really were crucial for the opposing team. I mean, shout out singular performance from Klurv here, really carrying the team home. I mean, of course, all the other players were playing well as well, but his performance just absolutely stand out. Not so last round, like he blocked Mentos, but then he did top damage. So I guess you lose some, you win some.
Well, so far the winning has been all one-sided, Kihan. All going towards W. I got the chance to rewatch that the Ruinberg in the meantime as well. Like, Kodicek, man, he crossed over on the zero-line gap and he completely died with ability activated even. One less shot and he might actually survive with HP.
And then he probably gets to heal like 1500 back.
It's like 30%, so he'd go to like roughly 1k, plus minus.
Yeah.
Something in that range, but you know, that's enough.
Well, and also your gun would be in the game. Anyway, that doesn't matter. W, in a very quick fashion, are already on a match point, and they are trying to finish it off cleanly here with a BZ75, CS63, Triple E50M, 140, and RHM.
CTR, 50B, double BZ, CS. 140, 40U, RHM. So W with that triple E50, bit more DPM, right? Can they put that into the right position?
That's going to be the question here. I mean, CTR, I think... I was trying to figure out for myself who actually has the lighter lineup here, but, you know, both of them are basically trading a lot of armor for some additional mobility. As CTR want to play this one a bit more passively, it seems, sending Froley towards the K5 position. The 430U maybe going to wrap around the hill here, as W once again aggressively opening in towards the 1-2 line. The Triple E50M not even spotted. Klurv gets the initial damage on towards Kodicek, but still the cross on towards the hill fairly cheap for that RHM, as he makes it just about around the corner.
Herman taking some shots as well. 791 to the face. There's a 140 at K45. There is a CS63 around the hill, and Piotr doesn't really want to take this with Herman proxy spotting, so W has to react here somehow. 1-2 push? Hard.
I mean, they did take the artillery strike in the 1-2 line. They're also taking the info tower now. They're holding onto it at this point in time, though. Ios not really popping it yet. Now he finally uses it. That also is going to enable him to use an Inspire. And now Patras might actually be in a bit of a pickle, but he has Froley in support. Let's see how quickly those E50Ms are going to be able to melt through the AMX 50B, but there will be a lot of supporting fire coming in. Nepal already dropping down to 1500 here, even as Patras plays ring around the Rosie.
Patras is going to find the kill as well. He's pushing forward. He gets it out. Froley is actually the one to pick it up, but it's a combination of Patras and Froley to get that one out. And Itox now getting behind Patras, but the damage taken is severe. Piotr does make it on towards the hill, but Herman is going to counteract that one as well. Herman needs to get past here, though. Might take a lot of damage for this. One more shot from Piotr potentially as well. He does nail it, and is there a strike available from Mentos? It is. Piotr tries to ram, doesn't succeed. The strike from Mentos, though, does hit home. It's 4 on 5, but positional advantage is heavily in CTR's favor.
Absolutely. They have A5, K5, plus the hill as well. This is essentially the perfect setup for CTR at this point in time. IOS is going to take the info tower, but realistically, none of the tanks of CTR are in a position where they can be completely punished, to be honest. Even Froley in K5 should be able to somehow retreat against behind rock. So yeah, this is looking like the first round where CTR is possibly able to hold a candle to towards what W has been doing so far.
How do you get back in this though if you're W? I mean, you have a strike, you have a radio tower, but still, it's a really, really tough position to be. They're starting to retake 1-2 line. They're playing in the cap now. They get bold, so they see that these players are very far away from each other. So Lukin starts re-pushing. The miss from Evo. The strike on towards Evo as well. And they might be able to isolate at least this 4-3U. Woodok is now coming in as well. They're looking for this, for the skill. Does the strike hit on 2? Yeah, it hits on 1 actually. They really want to get Evo out here. They're doing good damage towards him as well in that 4-3U. It's a good play. He's down towards a 2-shot. Ios now getting shot from behind, continues to chase. A miss from Lukin. A minor miss there. May matter because Evo survives.
Evo survives on one shot and he gets away, but Lukin still is lording on top of the Rich here. He has support from Klurf as well. There is, I believe, an arty strike, but it's going Ios's way, who drops down towards one shot, possibly for the strike too, as Klurf is going to be driving up towards the hill. Lukin needs to be careful as well because Floki has crossfire. It's going to be Froley to finish him up, but quick double kill coming out from W to make it a 3 versus 3, but not for long because Ios in the 140 finally gets picked up.
Klurf peeking over the hill, takes a shot from Woodok. Froley backing up again. The CS63 coming towards the middle as well, and finally CTR find their footing in this match, and they're looking to take this one home with them as well, there's not much they can do. It's 3v2. Finally CTR finds something.
Yeah, the question is, will it be too little too late at this point in time? Woodok missing the ram, but still he's going to put a big old heat shell in towards the back of Mentos as Klurf comes down from the hill, being chased by Froley, goes down towards one shot, able to do another HE. So actually Floki gets picked up, but yeah, it's going to be all she wrote for W in this round number 4, and CTR, they're not going to go out cleanly here. If you're a W fan, they get the first point finally.
Them a while, but finally, yeah. Finally, they did this 1-2 push that they wanted to do slightly too late, actually, because Piotr, I think, took a lot of damage driving up the hill. The way it works is, you know, you push 1-2, you distract the 50B, the 50B then doesn't clip up, you get the BZ up, you know, like, those things are a success. But the downside is that there were already 2 tanks around the hill by the time this happens.
Yeah, and I mean, Floki with that CS, he only dies at the end, but he does 6,000 damage, I believe, for now on Cliff. That means he has 6.5k DPG, at least in this match here, with his 7k from last round as well. But yeah, CTR finally showed that they are a competent team, but once again, is it too little too late? Because, well, W will have more match points where that one came from.
Yeah, I mean, there's still another Cliff round, and then we have 2 rounds of Ghost Town, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think Ghost Town, if you're CTR, do you do the WZ Light shenanigans again? Where, I mean, it's always weird to see the tank, at least for me. It does have, like, a turret to speak of, to, like, trade against other light tanks, but I think that's kind of the only redeeming feature.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of the WZ Light Cans, so I would...
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I saw CTR did some shenanigans with it, I believe, in OCS last season, and they were kind of succeeding with it a lot of times, but against OLS teams, against W, iffy.
Iffy indeed. Well, we'll see if it works out, but like, I'm not a fan of the WZ Light in general. I'm a fan of the good old trusted RHM, you know?
Yeah, or, I mean, if you want the additional camo, maybe go for a T100. But normally the RHM is just the better choice for 7v7.
I mean, normally, yes. Even the T100 I usually find pretty iffy, to be honest.
It's also, at least for me, on the T100, I find it super annoying that the ammunition with more pen is so much slower. Like, the AP shells The pen is, I guess, okay-ish, but as soon as you start shooting over, like, let's say 300 meters, it feels like you're throwing, I don't know, snowballs at the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, T100 not known for its amazing gun, you know?
Yeah. Is CTR going to continue waking up, though? That's the question, because I think playing against W on Ghost Town is always a scary prospect for a lot of teams, simply because W, I mean, they could play 0 lights, but at the same time, they could play with 4. You never know.
I don't... When is the last time we saw 4 lights?
Maybe 1.5 seasons ago, something like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think at the peak of La Rata, we saw.
Yeah,
like,
you ruined La Rata, buddy.
Oh, me personally, I didn't know nothing. Maybe.
Yeah, you.
Look.
You.
I feel targeted right now.
I mean, you as in a company, you know?
Oh. Alright. Well, CTR trying to stay alive, though, in the match. And they bring an IS-4, double IS-7, 140, 430U, EBR, and RHM, and a Type 5 gets switched into the mix, it seems.
There's the T100, Kihand, coming out. Not a fan. But it's double light versus 1 light. Klurf has a hell of a job to play here in a T100, right? To make something happen against this EBR RHM combination. I think this is a good lineup for CTR if they can exploit the light advantage.
Well, first of all, to exploit the light advantage, you need to understand that you have the light advantage, which is not a given right now. Klurf uses the plane, and he sees Kordychek early. Not sure if he saw Herman, actually, but Klurf, I think he doesn't know about the EBR, because he keeps on driving through, and they're, yeah, they don't know. El no sabe about each other, but yeah, Herman and Klurf are very, very close to finding out about the respective opponent, as Klurf drives away here, but the Camel holds up even against the boosted view range of the EBR.
Kordychek did get spotted out. Klurf now making his way back. Herman, is he making his way as well? Klurf uses the plane, spots out Froley. Herman moving down the bush line. Klurf is safe in his bush. I think they're going to spot each other out. No, they drive past each other, but Froley is dead. In the meantime, Mentos and Ios are fighting off against Evo while the lights bypass each other on 26, 27 meters per se. But the bigger problem right now for CTR is that Froley is dead and Evo is dying. So even with all of this, which is very funny that Herman and Klurf are so close yet so far away from each other. Oh, there we go. Klurf does get spotted out, finally.
Finally, yeah, finally he does get seen, but there is no one left to shoot at him, and now Klurf is like, alright buddy, where are you? As they finally find each other, but low noise exhaust, pretty good equipment.
Yeah, now there's so many guns from W alive that Herman is gonna have a real problem here to stay alive. Plane coming out as well, we'll spot him out. Some shots from Klurf as well. It's all over. I mean, this time today, the brawl happening 4 times, and in those 4 times it happens, W wins it 4 times. Because the cliff round we saw where CTR won, that wasn't really a brawl, that was a tactical play across the map. So good showing from W, and you know, banter in shambles.
Banter in absolute shambles, but to be honest, so are the rest of us. We expected for CTR to get a bit more than a singular round.
1 point is better than 0,
yeah, bigger number, right? But, well, today it wasn't it, and I think this kind of already cements a little bit the way that the scoreboard is going to look, because now CTR was trailing 5 points, now they're going to be trailing 9 points. And, well, within the 2 remaining playdays, that's not going to be possible to still close the distance now towards W.
Well, that means a lot of things, right, Kian?
That indeed means a lot of things, but, well, first of all, I think it is time to check the post-battle results. And after that, we can maybe take a look at the standings. But yeah, here, first of all, Another 7-0. Feels like there have been quite a lot of those today, but this time with a better end for W, and actually Lucan with the Type 5 is going to be top of the board. But realistically, I think the issue here for CTR was the fact that they were trying to initiate a brawl with the light tank advantage, but realistically, Clerv 1v2'd them.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, the zero line push got shut down so hard, so quickly. You know, that was really tough for CTR. I mean, it just got owned. Probably made it halfway across. This is the standings, of course, guys, where you know it shows a lot of things. Where I think we have our top 4, right, Kian?
Indeed, the top 4 are going to be Hit, Cashback, Mafia, and W. However, they are still going to be fighting for the top spots because unlike last season, being first, second, third, and fourth, actually there's a meaningful difference in regards to prize money as to what you're going to be getting. And CTR and Lotus, I mean, for them as well, while it is clear that they are not going to go towards the final stage anymore, they're going to be fighting for 5th, yes. And there is a big difference between 5th and 6th. I believe 5th gets a lot more prize money and also directly to stay in the OLS, whereas the 6th one has to fight for it. And talking about that fighting to get into OLS, there is one more match today that's going to be upcoming after some replays. But yeah, we are going to see if next season is going to have Sicarios or Vortex in the OLS, so stay tuned for that one. And I guess talking about staying tuned,
Adjustment here. Is Illusia going to get another shot in towards the lower plate? Yes, that means one shot on towards the 50M. Is XCMax going to pick it up? Good shot in towards the cupola. It is the 1v1 we've been waiting for here, and he does it.
The OLS Season 5 is already here. The best teams are ready to head onto the battlefield. Who will you be supporting? Root for your favorites, follow their journey, and stand by them. With you on their side, they'll be unstoppable. You take hits together with them, and that means you go all the way. Behind every vehicle is a personality whose quick thinking and precise actions can change the outcome of battle. Victory is 100 shots and maneuvers, plus 1,000 emotions on the other side of the screen. Support your favorite OLS team. Be by their side. Together, until victory.
Welcome back, gamers, once more for the final match of the day, the OCS finals, with a lot at stake. Vortex versus Sicarios. This is an important match banter between these two, and the winner gets to be very happy for the future in OLS. The loser, well, you know, they got so close, but yet so far.
Yeah, so close yet so far. We saw the previous OCS final in the previous week. It was quite good. Do you want to take away this one?
Yep. Well, let me tell you guys, I don't know who needs to hear this. The internet is way too confident about who I think I am. You know, I Google something and then for the next 3 weeks I'm looking at ads for kitchen supplies. That's the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start using Surfshark VPN. Here's the thing. Everything you do online is being tracked. A VPN like Surfshark creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for your internet traffic, so random companies, trackers, and third parties can't see what you're doing or where you're browsing from. Surfshark gives you the much needed personal space online. Your searches, your clicks, habits aren't just out there for everyone to analyze, especially if you can. It's also great for avoiding price discrimination. You can change your virtual location to find better prices on flights, hotels, or shopping, and honestly, that's why I love it. Surfshark doesn't keep locks, so the internet doesn't get to build a whole personality profile on me anymore. What I browse stays between me and my screen. Plus, one account covers all devices, phone, tablet, computer, all of it. Go to surfshark.com/OLS or use a code OLS at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN.
Well, you've got me hooked.
I thought I had you hooked before this already. But yeah.
Oh, no. This one really sold it.
So yeah, this is an important match between these two. The winner of this, you know, gets so much out of it. This is the bracket we went through. And there we could see that, you know, through this, then coming in, it was a really, really close match between Vortex and Baton. Really, really close. A 5-4 victory for Vortex. And there was some really crazy stuff happening. BZ's being pushed off a cliff, for example. I saw that happening as well and crashing for 2K. So heartbreaks all across. But now, Sicarios was waiting, and they're going to be facing off against this team of Vortex. Sicarios heavily, heavily favored as well.
Yeah, I mean, they were the team that beat Last Dance in the previous OCS final. When we look at this Vortex team, some pretty well-known players, Andrea, Radem, Ixabo, a good mix of international players. Sicario, they're a Polish team, I'm like 99% sure. So Stone, Addy, like, again, some players who played in some infield teams before, good like Normie as well. So, yeah, going into this one, Tundra being banned, Ghost Town, Cliffs, and River. What are we thinking? We haven't seen that much of these teams on stream. Have you seen anything on any of these maps you'd go for?
I think it's between these two teams, they haven't really had enough like practice or like experience against each other to really take away too much from the maps. I feel like these kind of matches are the ones where really anything can really still happen, and it's really hard to predict because I feel like on any given day one could beat the other. Could be a close match, could be a blowout. It's not that easy to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the previous, I'm just looking at the previous predictions we had. We all went, I think 5-3 for Sicarios over Last Dance, and I think the result was 5-2. All of us here going 5-2 Sicarios. I went 5-3. I mean, my prediction game has not been great. Might as well make it a bit worse, right? So we'll see.
I mean,
if I get it a little bit lucky. I believed in CTR. I'm still upset about that.
that wasn't even close, buddy.
Listen, all right. I looked at recent history.
Recent history.
Yeah, as in, yes, 2 days ago.
Short-term gains is gambling, Banter. Gambling. We're looking at the long term here.
Very true, but I got punished for it, but it's not over just yet. I mean, you only get 1 point from that, so
It means I'm still ahead now.
just a little. We'll see about this one, but going into it, Vortex 1 IS4, IS7, T57 heavy, Type 5 heavy, 144 RHM. Pretty varied lineup actually.
Sicarios IS7 Type, W50, K91, an EBR, and an RHM. So light advantage for Sicarios.
Yeah, it looks like Sicarios do want to play that 7 through 0 line. K91, not a big fan of it myself. I don't like anything with a rear turret really, but yeah, we'll
same.
need to see if they
Outside of the
they can-
VK.
I like 705 actually. 705 is my kind of like it. I don't really know why, I just do. But yeah, anything else with rear turret, I'm just not a fan.
So yeah, the K91 does get a mini strike, of course, to decap with. That's one of the advantages it has. Needs to generate that though. Flappy getting outspotted by Nico, takes a shot as well. So initial start for Sicarios, not that bad. Gathering a little bit of information, getting a strike as well. And for Vortex, this seems very straightforward, right? We've seen this many times at this point. IS4 into the cab, IS7 into this pocket. No surprises yet.
Yeah, but Vortex are giving up a lot of the map. They're outnumbered on the 1-2 line. They're outnumbered on the 0 line. In this type of a game, normally if you want to make this play, you've got to apply maximum pressure. Because the longer this game goes on for, I feel like Sicarios are going to start taking that map control, start abusing that double light that they have to get around them. You can already see Mayo on the 0 line in the minimap. He's progressing down that 0 line. And at some point, they're going to realize there's nothing there. And at that point, they're going to be behind Vortex. Vortex won't have that triple cap pressure to scare them away, you know?
They're gonna boost the cap now. Sabo will be joining this, so double cap pressure. There is a strike available, of course, but Adi spots out Sabo. Might even get a shot from the back lines. That's one of the crossfire angles there. Triple cap will get on. The strike needs to get used, and it seems like Vortex is gambling a little bit on this cap. So there gets the big reset. It's back down to 27 seconds though.
Yeah, and there's no decap at the moment. The K91 should generate as a mini strike from taking this info point. He doesn't actually. I thought he'd generate one there. So no actual strike decaps are going to be able to come in. Radomek does get decapped there by that E50M on the red line of Adi. IS4 aiming, takes a shot on the side. Radomek needs to get safe if they want to make this work. 10 seconds to go. The IS7 can peek at some point. Big damage taken onto Light though. It might have to be Reject whoever peeks for this does. Goes into Radomek, but right now Cap on Sabo chooses to leave. Cap being abandoned.
Yeah, cap being abandoned, but look at the damage Like has received on that Type 5, down towards 800. Attractive for shield in there, the T57 gets the clip out, and now Vortex is switching into the attack. Ramadik there, big miss on that IS4. Needed to take a second more to aim that shot, you know, and make sure he hits that. Mikado and Flappy, in the meantime, combining on Stone. They have a good situation here against him. He has covered by the EBR. The Type goes down, though, from Like. Stone is probably the next one to follow here. Flappy might make the peak. And with this, Vortex starting off strong on the Ghost Town, to be honest. They completely outplay Sicarios here, who cannot handle the cap pressure.
Yeah, quite a surprise. It's a slow cap to begin with, and Sicarios really just collapsing under not that much pressure. I mean, yeah, there was this cap that was going on, but I feel like they traded far too much to get these decaps, and now we're kind of just seeing the final death throes of this game. Vortex with 7 tanks still remaining. Reject about to go down to Ilias. Alex is getting some shots in, but it's a K91, and there's a lot of like bushes and indestructible objects in the way that can block those heat rounds. So he will go down at some point. Mayo might pick up Mika, but the HP at disadvantage is just not doable at this point.
I mean, gun advantage, HP advantage. Vortex lose this. I think we should just give the whole match to Sicarios. Be like, okay, you don't deserve it.
Believe. He hasn't been training me. It's still playable.
Right. According to Kihan, everything is playable.
Everything is playable.
It's probably also why he's on the bottom of the prediction leaderboard right now.
I say nothing. I'm down there with him.
I mean,
But
maybe that's why he trained you, you know?
yeah, exactly. I need you training me. But well, you know, listen. Nobody remembers second place. Catch Phil, then you can talk.
Yeah, but I was first last season. Where was Gihan?
And who cares about last season? All right, that's gone and forgotten.
It's not until
I don't even know who was there last season.
there's a new winner. The last season is relevant. But a good start from Vortex, and I think that plays into what I said. Like, I don't think between these two, like, even though I think Sicarios is favored, I think it could really easily fall apart for them as well.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a strange game, though. I feel like Sicarios were decently well set up for this. I feel like the fact that the K9, they played no tanks on that zero line, which meant the K91 couldn't generate a small strike, really kind of threw Sicarios off, which meant they only had that one strike on the 7 line that could get a decap, and then after that they were forced to make a pig. I don't understand how Like lost so much HP in that type. He must have made some horrendous
He went to decap.
to take that much damage.
He went to try and decap and he got clipped out by the 57 for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he got punished and well-deserved victory by Vortex. I mean, what can you say? Starting off slow with that 1 IS4 cap pressure and then piling on the pressure after that, and Sicarios couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's a really good round from Vortex. Picking up the first one, good for them. They need a few more of these, of course, but starting it like this, not a disappointing thing altogether. It's weird though, because, you know, this start from Vortex is very OLS-esque, like we've seen it today already. IS4 in the cap, it's not really a surprise, right? It happens all the time now. And they weren't able to really generate anything. They were a bit passive across the map. Like you said it, Sicarios had a lot of map control, but they didn't really end up using much of it.
No, they didn't. I mean, there wasn't they had overload on both sides. Obviously, they can't know this completely without taking an info point, but they just didn't use that 2-light advantage, and they had an advantage on that 1 line before the 140 came, but after the 140 came, it was a net negative trade completely. That E50M got owned by the 140 and RHM, even with an EBR backing him up. So, I mean, it's respective in the damage. Vortex, not a single member under 2k, which means that kind of everyone got a slice of the pie, you know? And looking at Sicarios, I mean, Reject got a lot of strike damage out. That's probably 2 strikes onto 3 people, and yeah, like, not even a full shot. I think that's a HE connection to try and get a panic decap. You can't do that little in a type.
So, first round, going Vortex this way, good for them. It means it's going to be a competitive match, and, you know, even if Sicarios is the favorite, they still have to be able to handle the pressure, right? Vortex had a lot of matches to play, and it's probably a bit more warmed up as well at the same time.
Yeah, it's the opening round of a best of 9. We got a long way to go. Just the first round on a map like Ghost Town where things can easily go wrong, you know, like a light can die in the bushes and things like that. There's a lot at play, so I don't think this is going to cause any rattlings. You know, a best of 9 is really nice when it's like kind of, you gotta get to 5, which means you got a lot of time. You know, you can throw a full map and recover, so it's not like a best of 5 where it's like, oh, you lose 1 map, oh, 1 more. Yeah, so, yeah, first round, Vortex, pretty solid, no mistakes. I don't think their strat was anything amazing, you know, it was all Sicarios mistakes. The clipping out by the poor play on the 1 line where the E50M and the EBR didn't support each other well enough, which meant the E50M died, which means the EBR needs to run away. Yeah, just solid, simple, and, you know, point in the board.
Sometimes that's all you need. That's all you need to win
we don't
run a world.
Yeah, you don't remember how you win, you just remember that you win, right? So
Exactly. I mean, don't ask me how I won all of my tournaments. You know, I just know I won them.
all of those tournaments.
Hey, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, we go back to the, you know,
What?
key hand years.
But nah, even then he was not in the team. Relax. Not under my watch.
He has golden fists.
Yeah, that was not under my watch. I would have never let such a disgrace happen.
heinous act,
I would
yeah.
never let that happen.
Are we talking back in the Woosa days or what?
No, Royd stays.
Roids.
I think that's.
I was also there somehow.
But you don't have a gold fist though, and he did. He snuck in.
I have a Moscow plane ticket. I'll live with that.
True. A free trip is a free trip. The second round on this one, Vortex 4 BZs, an IS7, a BAT, and a 140.
Yeah, Sicario's triple type
What
on
is-
this map. What a surprise.
With triple CS behind it.
Well, yeah, I read up to down, you know. Triple CS behind it and a T100, not even RHM. This is gonna have to be bold from Sicario's if they're gonna make this work.
I hate their lineup. So,
I love it.
I think the triple.
If we add 2 more CSs and they go on the high ground, perfect.
Just replace the T100 by CS with CBS. You know, it's basically the same thing.
Exactly. That's how that works. But opener, 1 AFK CS. Either that or he's really dodging that lane. No restart called though. Quite a surprise, but Reject taking the strike in the beginning. Andrea is not contesting that. Hurricane should be able to give a side shot here, but big driving by these quad BZs. 2 of them are spotted out. Andrea takes big damage from these types.
Andrisha is tracked as well, minus 2.6. The types are going to push forward. Andrisha still tracked, will get around the corner, but not before taking another shot by Reject, who will take the strike as well. Now the push is happening from Vortex. They're trying to overrun this, and honestly, you know what? Triple type and triple CS is the best lineup ever for something like this.
The best.
Fluffy is dead. The rest of them soon to follow. Reject will fall. But the types, they form a wall, an invincible wall. You shall not pass, and the triple type starts rolling back, and I think this is the point where Vortex realizes, well, triple type is pretty hard to deal with, but it's coming close. Sicarios cannot get complacent. They do find Sabo in the 0 line though. Mikado pushing 0 line as well. A good focus fire on towards Stone. If Attractive can somehow survive, who knows what's possible, because Ari may have gone a little too far here.
Yeah, going forward in those types might not have been the play, actually. They're now close quarters with these BZs, and there are more of them. In the meantime, Sabo and Mika pushing onto Adi. Adi really only wants to shoot the Batchat in this scenario. Strike comes out, he misses onto Sabo.
Miko misses too.
And the T100 also misses, but the Bat is now on reload. Mika doesn't connect it. Adi will give 1, maybe 2 more. The Batchat will be finished off by the T100 behind. Adi puts 1 more strike in, does eventually go down, but that was not great. In the meantime, Alex comes forward but gets focus fired. Ilias boosts forward. He wants to get out of there, but he's being body blocked by those types. Radomic pushing into Alex. He'll push him away, but Ilias will go down. In the meantime, the T100 is being chased by Andrea.
Andrisha tracked him as well, and that makes him spot Miku. Miku with a low pin on that T100 does find the shot. Crucial kill. Ilias trying to boost away. Ramadek chasing down Alex. If Ilias can do 1 more shot, no, he cannot. But Ramadek finds the kill. If somehow the 140 can find Miku, then something is playable. Can Mikado find Miko? He's trying to play with those bushes. He spots him out as well. That's the 140 spotting out the T100. Good shot there from Mikado, but Miku will not be caught today by this 140. Good shooting as well. Makes his great escape, and Mikado hightailing it out of there, trying to blind towards Miku, but Milo shuts him down. The Type 5 comes back, and that IS-7 pen from Miku was the crucial one.
Yeah, it really was. T100 not the highest pen on those AP shells, so going through that IS-7 frontally, especially when you're on the move and you can't fully aim it, it's a really crucial shot there. Probably shouldn't have been caught in the first place, but yeah, really interesting round. You know, this tactic with the BCs going through 6 line, we've seen it. I think this is the 5th time we've seen it. I've seen Hit and Run play it twice, and it's not worked a single time. Teams need to stop doing this because it's simply not working. And I feel like if it had worked here, it would have been Sicario's misplay, just with these types pushing back inwards.
And the 0 line.
So you're 3 types.
This yes pushing 0 line.
Well, yeah, that also.
I think it was yes.
They needed to pick up Andrea. Andrea needed to dive.
Yeah, that too. If there's also a thing. The 140 bounced 1 shot against Adi, right? If he doesn't bounce that, the Batchat doesn't die. Could matter. No, because he could go forward.
I think the bat still dies from behind, though.
No, Miku missed a shot. That's why.
Oh, yeah, that also.
You know.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this T100 needed to pick up Andrea before he started focusing on the bats. That 1-shot IS-7 needed to go down, but yeah, I disagree with the strat by Vortex. We've seen it multiple times. If Hit and Run can't pull it off, no offense, but I don't think Vortex are doing it, and it just hasn't worked. And the only reason why this is close is because of a mistake by the types, but look at that type damage on Sicario's side. 7.5 in a type 5. That's how you kind of know this game took a while.
Milo has 6k as well, you know, like following up there.
Nico has good damage though, 3k in a line. I mean, some of this was in the late game, but
with 1,000 strike damage though.
Oh yeah, that also.
I think an RHM does 4k here easily.
Yeah, man, I'd be inclined to agree with that. Yeah, Stone Only getting out one shot though in a type in that scenario where they're pushing into you. That's quite a surprise, actually. I feel like you should get more out.
Should be minimum 2.
But yeah, it should be. Maybe, you know, bounce shots, things happen. You know, life is not perfect, but yeah, out of Ghost Town 1-1. I think Vortex will be happy with that, especially in this last round. They played a high risk, high reward strat, and it didn't work out. I really feel like teams need to stop doing this tactic. Like it's not working, fellas.
Well, I haven't really seen it work either, but you know, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. But Cliff now, map could go either way. I mean, we saw some interesting gameplay in the previous one against Sicarios and Last Dance. I believe, I'm pretty sure they played Cliff. In my memory, I have Cliff there, but yeah, this last one. I'm really curious what the strat would have been actually if they didn't make this push.
With the triple CS, just map control and strikes, I guess. You know.
I mean, they didn't play map control. They just played Zero Line. I'm just curious. You know, with the strikes and stuff, you know, you can deny the decaps, and you have the types that can kind of be the meat while the CSs are doing damage. I mean, it's a niche lineup, and it can be hard to make it work because you don't have, you know, it's not a very forgiving lineup. You know what I mean?
No, it's not, and the CSs are kind of squishy by themselves as well.
Yeah.
But we never got to see how it would play out, right?
That's always next time.
Cliff, however, could be an interesting one. 114s maybe banter, huh?
Don't like it when you say that word.
No?
No, not a fan. But no, I don't think so. I think that kind of fad died at the start of the season. You know, I said it before. That's the thing I love about OLS. The fact that because of all the abilities, the meta changes really quickly. You know, in the beginning of the season, we were seeing basically pure E4s. Now we're seeing a lot more T57, 60 TP. We're even seeing 100s. Looks like CSs are making a bit of a resurgence as well. We're seeing not a lot more CSs, but I'm seeing a few more. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of CSs in this one. I think it's going to be less about BCs.
I think it's all about the 114, man. You'll see. No 114. Oof. Oh, that's a lot of bad shots as well. 4 bad shots, triple CS for Sicarios.
That's a WGL lineup right there.
Oh my god.
The Vortex's lineup. What are these lineups?
Six.
It's like training, you know? I've got a strat I want to test. Yeah, 4 bad shots, 3 CSs. Other side, 6 CSs and Ascent. So they will have this. They will have the Inspire, but this looks like a mid fight from both teams, and well, maybe, and yeah, Sicarios with these bats. I think this type of fight favors them. You see, this is what happens in the OCS. These are the games we miss that aren't streamed. You know, none of this BZ.
And the bats stop to not get planed, but there is no plane. So now they're going to be moving towards the middle. Like they stopped to try and not get planed, but there was no plane, and they're going to go around the hill. While in return, Vortex is playing middle and 1-2 line. Starting wise, I'd say Vortex is a bit favored here. Triple CS going hill. How much damage can Vortex do to this? They are spotted out. Ilias and Sabo will climb. They will take 0 damage up. Some shots on towards Ari. They may not make it with triple CS. Ari's down towards 1035 already. One more shot maybe. It's on the back of Like, and Mikado just climbing up as well. And this is honestly fantastic for Vortex.
Yeah, but the thing is, these bats are unspotted right now. The info tower has not been taken. Adi's taking the info tower on the top. So someone might be surprised here. If these bats can get behind them and make a clip while they're driving upwards, there's a possibility here that this goes really well for Vortex, actually. They need a bit of luck with these bats. But right now, they need to be stop and clipping. Looks like they've noticed Ilias is going forward, but they're backing off, which is allowing the bats to get in the shots. Look at Mika's HP. Look at Ilias's HP. Getting absolutely deleted here. They're making this lineup work, and I love it.
They're actually making it work indeed. Sabo getting clipped out. Those batches actually find so much success. And just like that, Sicario is back in it. Unbelievable. The bad shots make it happen. And now Andrija and Attractive trying to climb, but the damage has been dealt.
Yeah, and the bat in the south is going to clip them out as well. There's no guarantee they win this hill. Even without that bat on lower side, he's clipping out. Andrea is getting hit. One more shot down to 1 shot. Mayo connects it just then. Attractive, he doesn't win this 1v2 on the hill, even with the batcher behind him. Rizek coming in last. Flappy and Rademek have just abandoned Attractive to his fate. That's not very pretty. But yeah, this triple bat around the hill, because they were unspotted, they didn't take the lower side info tower. And the reaction was very slow by the Vortex players. The moment those bats are spotted,
They have to drive up.
You need to drive straight forward, and they didn't do that. They reversed a little bit. I saw with the scent, and that scent disappeared so fast.
Yeah, they have to drive straight forward and up and try to take the fight because there was a low HP CS already, so maybe they could win it off of that, right? And then tanks from the middle come in, whatnot.
Yeah,
then you know.
It's not even that though. The scent made it on time, but they didn't notice the bat chats. It's a nice little twist there, but it's about reaction time. The instant those bats are spotted, you know you can't stay there. You got to drive straight forward. At this level, you cannot afford even a second of delay.
What a crazy game.
I love it.
Crazy.
See this? This is what we miss. These games, it's not streamed, you know? So this is what we miss. But yeah, look at the damage. Andrea, 2 shots. Mika, 1 shot. You see they got penned. The Batchas did really well from behind. This was a... You know, I was worried that the bats would get spotted because they stop to avoid the plane when I saw the CS going up. But I was looking at them and I noticed none of them got spotted. And because of that, there's just such a lack of info. So, yeah, really nicely played. I mean, there's a world here. I feel like this type of strat isn't gonna fly in OLS, but in OCS, they make it work.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing here is that not one team, but both teams are doing some crazy
Weird
strat,
stuff,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not one, it's just both of them at the same time. Apparently, channeling the CS overload.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's like how the meta was a few years ago, before I went on my adventure. But yeah, CSs, I mean, it's a nice tank. You get the small strike, you get a good tank with a fast tank with good DPM, decent gun when you're not in the speed mode. Obviously, it's very, very squishy. So yeah, they're channeling a different type of meta here, and you know, it's curious how it would play against normal games, right? But against opponents that are also doing weird things, it's working, at least for Vortex in this one. No, in Sicarios for this one, sorry.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, for Sicarios, that's exactly what they needed, because I think, indeed, if Vortex is a slightly better team, no offense, and they indeed press W with the damage dealt to Adi, they win the hill.
Yeah.
And if you win the hill, the game is always over, to be honest. Like,
yeah, it is kind of screwed from there, because... I mean, the thing is, they hill would be won, but it would be won expensively. There might be one tank left, and he's pretty low HP. If they play around the hill with the strikes,
the thing is, the guys from 1-2 can reinforce the hill as well, you know? That's the downside.
Yeah, but it's not that easy. They would have to reinforce on the right side, and on the right side is a Batchat on lower side who can clip out. So, listen, I'm not saying it's a perfect world. I'm saying if they go up and over... Vortex would win the hill, but it would be very expensive. To a point where even a big strike taken from around the hill could render the hill like mute.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Depends on who's left on what HP when they get to the hill, like after the fight. Second round, however, between Cliff, more normal here, I would say. Although double 50B, double BZ, an IS-7, a CS, and a 140 for Vortex.
Yeah, a lot more normal. Sicarios, it's getting less normal about a minute, but 6 BZs and 5 BZs, a CS, and a 140. A lot of firepower on Sicario's side, but those double 50Bs, if they get that prime engagement, they can really do a lot of damage. You know, I always, you know, when I was leading my teams, I always used to not like to take 50Bs because I didn't trust my players in 50Bs. 50B is a tank where you need someone who can independently think and make micro decisions that are very good. But you see in the beginning, Alex going a little bit slow, destroying some walls so if they zoom out, they might think they're going lower side, trying to avoid that plane. But we know there's no plane coming.
No plane, yeah, but you still always have to play like there would be a plane.
I know.
Yeah. Adrija taking the hill, BC's boosting into the middle, taking 2 shots. Like is taking a little bit more, minus
a lot more. The 50Bs on lower are clipping out.
Well, I feel like they did little then.
Yeah, I feel like he should have died for 2 50Bs on lower. And now it's up to Sicarios to make a decision. There's 2 50Bs out of the fight. They got to make some move here. If they're just sitting in this cap, they're going to lose this hill eventually, and they're going to lose the game right now. Sicarios have to make a decision.
I mean, the strike is available for Vortex, so the cap is not really a possibility, to be honest. The CS already took it, so the strike is gonna deny this, so I'm not sure why they're opting to sit on the cap indeed instead of repushing something or anything. 50Bs have now arrived into 1-2 line as well. The strike comes out, resets, so they're content with this. They're forcing the fight once more.
Yeah, but Radimik can just go and deny this. Stone gets decapped by Small Strike, and Sicario's on a big problem at the moment. They're sending Addy around the hill, but even Andrea's at the point where he can overpeak this hill. Is cheeky. A bit unnecessary as well to take this higher risk, but he's just able to do it. Alex on the red line tries to do in a good shot. Maybe they thought that Alex was too far out of the fight to make a difference, but this is not good by Sicario's at the moment. Yes, the cap is going on, but you can see Radimik is already in prime position to decap that. Small Strike comes in, Miku gets decapped, and Attractive is coming close. Andrea takes a big shot, needs to be careful. If he takes more, that gives Like a possibility to re-win this game by retaking the hill.
They need to be careful. Ramadic now getting overpeaked. But honestly, I think they did more damage to Miko than they did to Ramadic. And Trisha, though, takes 2 more, 3 more even, down towards 600. And you talked about how Like could then maybe retake the hill. He's dropping off on the backside. So that's not going to happen.
Really surprised by that. Addy has the strike. He could strike Andrea and Like could win that 1v1. Positions himself so Like doesn't take damage. Nice play there by Addy.
Rishek goes up. Rishek is up pretty healthy as well, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the meantime, Rishek did take that hill, and the damage he took was not that bad. Good play by Rishek, and he has enough damage in one shot to kill Andrea. Big mistakes by Andrea, allowing this game to go back into Sicario's hands when they basically had a guaranteed win. Flappy has crossed. He'll be able to peek from the bushes, so cap is no longer really a big issue, but Alex is going south to counter him. Strike comes in onto Adi and Mile. But right now, Flappy's in a really bad position. Alex will start killing him from the base.
Alex does find Flappy. Yeah, you're right. That's a really tough position. Flappy is just dead there, and all of a sudden, Sicarios is back in a pretty good position. Now Vortex needs to push out because they have no more choice. They're losing the hill, they're pushing over the mid. Stone is going back as well. Ramadic is kind of pushing by himself out in the open there in the midst of it, in the thick of it. Miku will survive, and all of the Sicario tanks pulling back towards this ramp, and there's no great focus fire coming out from Vortex in return. And they're the ones actually losing more guns right now. Stone will die. Is that a big strike? It's not going to be big enough. 150 damage only. Adi with the save. Stone stays alive for one more shot, and Alex is now coming back in with a 140 as well. Rishek is on the top. Mikado is climbing back, but still Sicario is now up in guns, up in HP, and for Vortex it's really, really worrisome that they managed to lose this round in such a fashion. It's not over yet, but I mean, it basically is.
Yeah, this was an impressive loss. You know it. I'm not being nice about it, but Andrea, Ratan, what are we doing?
With the positions that they have, they should never get close to losing anymore.
Yeah. No, this should not be even possible to lose. After you take that first shot on the hill, you don't peek again, and he did. And for what? For what you make a peek? For 400 damage?
As long as they control
Brother,
the
you're
hill,
winning.
as long as they control the hill in 1-2, they should be alright.
Yeah, and as well, I feel Like should have died going up this hill. It's 250Bs on lower, and Like took 2 shots by other tanks that weren't 50Bs.
No, it was more than 2 tanks. More than 2 shots. Could otherwise he'd be dead.
Well, I think I saw 2 shots from the tanks driving up, and the 50Bs clipped out, but the 50Bs didn't connect all their shots. Flappy, 7k. Good damage, but...
Yeah. But
can I see Attractive's pen rate?
Okay, like 3,200 of Flappy's damage is strike damage.
Well,
okay?
yeah, but it's still 5.
Yeah.
It's still the second highest on damage. But this is just poor. Like, Andrea, why are you making these peaks? Just sit. You're winning. Why the fruits of success, tumbling from your mouths? And really unnecessary loss in a game where Sicario should never be able to come back. The fact that they didn't have Donut and they didn't have Hill, you need 1 to win a game. You can't just rely on sitting in the cap, especially when your enemy has 2 CSs that have mini strikes. You have the CS, you have the big strike on lower side. This just shouldn't be doable. This is really worrying for Vortex.
I mean, I think it's more than worrying. Now there are 3-1, should be 2-2 going into Sand River. this is not the first, but the second round that they should be winning, right? On Cliff, if you, well, okay, last one was a bit more iffy, but still, they have the advantage. They kind of threw it away. And this one, they have the advantage. They threw it away. It's not a way to win a match.
No, at some point, you got to start converting these wins. I mean, this was the most egregious one. Where it's just, you know, I said, and Andrea needs to stop peeking. He peeks, takes 600. He peeks again, takes another 600. And then Rishek goes up the hill. And then we're in this awkward position of, oh, now what? You know? And it's just embarrassing, actually. It's not a nice thing to say, but this should never be a loss.
Well, they still have an opportunity.
Yeah, true. Sand River now, going into a map that's definitely a possibility to come back from, but definitely seen some interesting things in this match. You know, the bats, the CSs, and the different styles of play, but this last one, you know, when you're tactically minded like we are, you know, we've both been in-game leaders before, when you see such an advantage, you know, on a tactical level, they have every position they could ever dream for, sorry. It can, yeah, it's not a good one.
No, you know what, but maybe, you know, Sun River will be the return. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, it's important to see the lineups here. I've got a strange sneaking suspicion we're going to see some less CSs. But, yeah, I mean, we need to see the lineups. That's what we need to see, and which team has which side of the map. But we saw some bangers of Cliffs, of Sand Rivers today. Mafia hit comes to mind, but looking at the lineups, we are seeing one CS at the very least. Triple BZ, CS, E50M, 140, and RHM on Vortex's side. Let you do Sicarios.
Sicarios in return, Mivi, double E50M, Kineni 1, a 430U, an UDAS, and an RHM.
An interesting blend of tanks, two rear turreted ones. M5Y making its return. Pretty good on this map. A lot of ridges that the M5Y's kind of alien turret can get over with that nice gun depression, but opening wise, Sicarios players trying to dodge the plane. Both teams feeling out the map, but triple cap pressure is going to come in soon from Vortex.
You kind of need a strike to decap then if you want to actually be able to deal with this at any given point. Elias over peeking. Get a bit flappy. Kind of cheap peek. But the cap...
BZs are not capping.
Yeah, no, they're pushing through the mid and they're going for Alex, but honestly, Alex has a good timing here. It's a very good timing. He will take damage, but he's out.
Yeah, does hit that near perfect timing. And because they chose to go left, these three BZs, they're going to take a lot of damage. Stone has shots, Adi has shots, Rejek has shots. Damage not that significant, but still it hurts. Andrea down to half HP. Alex takes some running away. And North is not secured by Vortex right now. There's still that 430 Udis RHM up there. This is worrying for Vortex at the moment.
Alex loses his commander, tries to sit safe with that Udas, does pop the Inspire, and he is right now the linchpin. They want to get him. I thought he would maybe go for the dip, but he doesn't. He's just transitioning into the bush. He will not be spotted there. Stone taking a strike. Flappy tries to take a strike, but gets denied immediately.
The thing is that if Mika drops the strike on Alex, his buildings are gone.
And Alex is actually just opting for the fight right now. And you said it, North is not controlled, so you can actually peek this. There's a non-connection from Sabo. Good strike on towards the tanks of Sicarios. Alex is just kind of going for it. That's a good shot from Ramadik. Miku is challenging Sabo though, and the CS is now getting challenged by the RHM, but I don't think Milo can really do much against Ilias. And of course, Milo has to be careful because he can get shot by the BZs for this as well, so he's going to get out of this one. Miku is now having Flappy on the side, and these BZs, they're really trying to get Alex. He's just trying to survive in that UDAS 15-16, and he's doing a good job at it, but there needs to be some sort of a reaction here from Sicarios. The strike comes in, the kill gets made, and now it is on to Sicarios to make some plays. They take back the middle with the Mivi and the K91, maybe that brings them something.
Yeah, Sicarios have been a little bit slow. This M5Y has been out of the game for most of it, taking that south strike, but he's finally in it. Rejek trading 1-for-1 against Mika. He can make this work because he has an M5Y in backup. Rejek hits the rock there, but it shouldn't make a difference. Mika will go down here in this next shot. HP still equal, guns equal as well. Sabo not in a good position though. He's getting shredded by those 50Ms in the base. He should go down here. God knows why he went into this position. Down to a one-shot.
Miko has crossfire in the meantime on this triple BZ, trying to push up. The strike comes down, will finish off Sabo. Good job there by Stone, holding onto that one. The RHM in the meantime getting pushed by the CS probably means Milo is dead. But Attractive, Ramadek and Andrija, they're taking so much damage from behind. Miku is still alive. Vortex is trying, but they're starting to run out of gas here. They have 6k HP left versus 8.5k from Sicarios. But Adi, if he does it well with Rishak in support, should be able to pick off at least one of those. The first one's a miss. He's going to have to hit everything at this point. Can survive a salvo and a half. He's going to get Rishak in support though, and Rishak will normally undo this because look at the K91. Starting to put shots in the side. Adi started bullying back up. Mivi, good shot even from Stone from the top. Rishak hitting a shot as well. And now you can see these BZs. They're starting to struggle. The K91 turning into a machine gun. Attractive's going to die to Adi. Ramadek and Andrija not too far away. The strike will miss Ramadek, but does hit on Andrija. And it will be Sicarios to take match point.
Yeah, in this end game, I feel like Vortex had some potential. Maybe if the light could kind of sneak around and the BZs could slow the game down, but they pushed too far and that allowed Reject just to absolutely farm them from behind. So nice positional play by them. Stone, a little bit slow to get in the game, but now he's just, you know, able to lord over them with this gun depression and turret armor. So it was a difficult game by Vortex, I think. This was a difficult one based on where they went with the BZs. You know, they kind of forced to pursue Alex. Alex took far too long to die, and yeah, this was not an easy one for Vortex.
Yeah, Alex took a long time to die, and Scarro's even a little bit slow to arrive to that middle with Stone and Rishak. You know, that took a long time. It was even after Alex died. I felt like he was alive for so very long. Flappy now tries to get Miku. Will he get it? Miku doesn't get it. Flappy doesn't get it. And then nails himself straight into Miku. 4-1 for Sicarios.
Yeah. Nicely played game. Sicarios not really needing to do that much. They can kind of just react to what Vortex is doing. Nice running on time by Alex. They played well in the north. I definitely feel there was some potential in this late game with the BZs. If they could have caught the E50M in the base, and because, right, a lot of the HPs in that 430 who's locked in the cubby, they have the light so they can kind of slow the game down, but they pushed too far forward, didn't make the kills that were necessary, and you kind of see in the damage here, it's the BZs that basically got nothing out this entire game. Really not great. When your light is top on damage, you know there's an issue.
Yeah, indeed. That is a problem. The BZs, man. Two of them only getting one shot out, the other one getting two shots. BZ is a hard tank on Sand River, to be honest.
It's a hard tank generally, you know, you're basically walking hit points. You have a gun that's terrible with low DPM. You have a ton of weak spots. So your armor's not that great unless you're, you know, moving or on ridges and stuff so you can get those angles. And the tank is just not that quick. It's not that accurate. It's a hard one to play.
It is indeed. Sicarios, however, proving their favorites' role to be true, making it 4-1 now. And they are looking prone to secure that spot. Would be well deserved, I guess, over the course of the season as well in the OCS. But for Vortex, it's not just losing potentially, but how you lose. You know, it's not like you got outplayed. You got outplayed yourself half the time.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. You know, after that first victory, they had a lot of games where they could have won it. You know, the Cliffs, the Ghost Town. There was potential to come back into this, but they just couldn't do it, right? So, yeah, I mean, Sicarios are deserved to be in this position just by better play and not outplaying themselves like Vortex have. But
in return, you know, takes one team to throw it, another one to take the throws and convert it, and Sicarios has been doing that, even though, you know, you may not have favored them in certain rounds. They were able to convert it, and they well-deservedly have a 4-1 scoreline, and they're now looking to finish the job as well. Ideally, I would get them to have one more round, but it doesn't really matter that much. You know, 1 point is a point.
Yeah, point is a point. I've gambled enough today. I'm happy to take my 1 point and go into the next play day, but yeah, it's not going to be easy to come back. You know, the least favored side on Sand River. I think they need to slow the game down. I think the games where they've played well. Well, I mean, I'm going to say that, but the Cliff was a slow game and that didn't go very well. So, yeah, we need to see. They need to pull something out here because this is the last one. It's best of 9, which is first to 5, which is nice. It means that you can make a lot of mistakes and you get second chances, but we're out of second chances now. This is do or die.
Well, I'm ready for another crazy lineup. But it's not going to happen. Vortex, Triple BZ, E50M, UDAS, STRV, and an RHM.
Yeah, Sicario's in the meantime, no light tank this time. Double BZ, double 50M, 140, and double 430U. Feels like the teams are not choosing a meta, really. You know, it's not E50M or 430. They're taking a good mix, but Vortex, UDAS, and STRV is an interesting one. We've seen some STRV today by hit, almost cost them the round. Apart from with Monster's very high-level play, but yeah, the opening split by both teams, with Vortex mostly going K-line.
In return, Sicarios is kind of splitting normal-wise, you know, bit north, bit south, gap pressuring, trying to take the strike. Flappy, ooh, that's not good. It's really not good that Flappy is there. It needs to leave right now. He needs to run. He's not doing it. He takes another one. Takes one more on top of it. Stone and Miko could even peek him, and Stone's going to do exactly that. Gives Flappy one more down towards 485. The moment he spots the BZs, he has to leave. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think that's inexperience, but in the meantime, Alex did take a lot of damage in return. That Inspire medium down to 1000, so it's not all doom and gloom. But this STRV is going to be a big issue for Vortex, unless they can make it work. Sabo is a bit of a linchpin as well. He's kind of just isolated there. The RHM is in the base, so he will get spots. Radamik will block one eventually.
Drisha looking to peek in the BZ though to reset with. He does find the shot. Does he take anything in return so far? Little damage dealt. Ramadek coming to block. Stone speaking that. Finds the shot. The first strike gets used. Some shots coming in from the sides as well. Attractive now kind of out in the open as well. Ramadek to force himself forward into that mosque position. Stone now peeking as well. Can he get the shot? Because Ramadek right now is in trouble. And I think for Vortex something needs to happen here. But with the lineup of an UDAS and an STRV, what can you really do? What are your plays? They're pushing the K-line. The strike coming out. Goodbye, Ramadek. He goes down. And in return, Alex and Mayo are indeed very, very low. That E50 last time we saw him was full HP.
Yeah, he's being crossfired by the STRV and the RHM. It's not completely over yet. Sabo should be able to make some cross shots. If the STRV can get some shots in, there might be some potential here. HP is near equal, only 1k between them, and Attractive is not in a terrible position, but Sabo is being collapsed upon, and with this UDAS going down, the gun advantage is going to be heavily in Sicario's favor, with especially a lot of that HP being on Ilias in the STRV. Attractive tries to boost into Stone and finish him off with the Ram, but it's not doable. There's an E50M 1v1 on the one line we need to keep an eye on, because whoever wins that, it could make some potential, but...
Rishik is winning. Rishik wins this, but this Adrisha will have a strike though. There's that. Mikado goes for the Ram. Rishik does make the kill, but there is a strike available. Attractive is dying in the meantime though against this 430U of Adi. He cannot spot him back using that foliage. Rishik goes down. Milo goes down in quick succession. Adi does find Attractive, but it's still 4-on-3. Ilias is spotting down. Like is now moving towards his STRV. Flappy on low HP could have been a great asset if he actually had HP. He doesn't. He can't really go and engage anymore. And Ilias has to face the music. The music is right now playing Johnny Cash or something. Hurt because he's gonna die. He's dead. Like picks him up. Andrisha Flappy, the last two standing, and I do not believe that this will turn around as Adi and Like are sweeping in towards the kill. Sicarios comes into this OCS finals with a favorites role and will prove it to be true as well. Vortex, they tried, they fought, but it will not be enough for this time. Maybe the open qualifiers will be their way.
Yeah, I mean, what more to say? Some interesting games. I feel the cap is a lot safer from Sicario's side. It's a lot more difficult to play it from Vortex's side. You can get over-peaked. The buildings are not so much your friend in this game mode with the strike. HP, by the way, on RHM. That's a interesting one. I mean, that might be the reason he's still alive, but yeah, what more to say? I think Sicario's just played it better here. Some mistakes, obviously. Mistakes that are going to be punished a lot heavier in OLS. You know, these tanks taking the mid-range, they took a lot of damage for that, and they kind of had to sit there but the moment that 430 came in with all of his HP and went behind the Rheinmetall, no, not Rheinmetall, sorry, the Udis of Sabo, was kind of done from that point. It's such a difficult recovery, and yeah, now Flappy's just padding his stats a little bit, but
I mean, you know, the part is that at the end of the day, Sicarios deserved this win. Flappy should have run away in the beginning. I don't know if it changes the game though, but it would have definitely helped.
yeah, definitely. That RHM would have been a bit more free to maybe go and roam in the north. I don't think it would have made that much difference, to be honest. I mean, he basically just stayed in the base and sniped them in the mid. I think he's got decent damage, but I don't think it makes a difference if he's full HP or not. I think this was just a... You've got that STRV, which is not a fighting tank, and that STRV needs to be doing damage while your BZs are dying. And I just don't think he did enough. I mean, 4K, it's not horrible, but yeah, the trade onto the BZs just wasn't worth it.
No, it wasn't. Damage-wise, I mean, Milo could only one-shot out, so there was mistakes on the Sicarios side as well. But across the board, you know, the top end for the Sicarios side is pulling it off. Or Adi, Vishek, Stone, all pulling more than everybody on the Vortex side outside of the STRV. Even Alex, I mean.
Yeah, they needed to pressure out Rejek in the north, I think. I think having Rejek there who can give shots into the cap and be a bit of a thorn in their side, it took him... He's far away, and with this slow lineup of Vortex 3 BZs, they're not fast tanks. So trying to catch him is an issue, but having 2 tanks in the cap from this side, you really only want to put BZs in the cap from the eastern spawn if it's like last minute. Because the moment you put 1 strike down, you know, all your buildings are gone, and then you're just in the middle of the open with your pants down.
Yeah, so congratulations to Sicarios. You know, they're probably very happy with this. It's always, you know, one match that decides so much is always interesting, you know. There's so much on the line for them.
Yeah, this is their final.
Yeah, their final. It was their final to lose. They ended up winning it, so congratulations for them. For Vortex, is back to the drawing board for a little while longer, at the very least. And what was the takeaway from today, Banter? What did we... Is there something we take away?
Don't bet on CTR.
Don't bet on CTR. On that note, we're going to end it for today. We will see you guys all again on Tuesday. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, what remains of it, and see you guys on Tuesday.
See ya.